Spring Hill High School football.
He's in the slot again to the right. Myers gets the snap. Standing tall in the pocket, going to take the shot down the seam. Klutz is there for a touchdown. Spring Hill. Barker up the middle. Nice jump cut out to the right behind his center, Denver Gardner, who had the middle linebacker tied up. And Barker is in for a 9-yard touchdown.
Spring Hill Sports Live is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, Price Chopper, Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial, the Spring Hill Recreation Commission, Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Cedar Lake Village, Crown Realty, the Elliott Insurance Group, Prime Accounting Solutions, Farmers Insurance, Leah Smith Agency, Tri-Century Bank, Allstate, Libby Clark Agency, the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, Spring Hill Fitness, Perfect Detail Salon, and Whitesell Optometry.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for Bronco football.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Well, fall has arrived here in eastern Kansas in time for week number 5 of the high school football season, as tonight the Spring Hill Broncos at 2-2 play host to the 4-0 DeSoto Wildcats from Spring Hill District Stadium. Good evening and welcome to our broadcast tonight. I'm Bryce Kessler along with Caden Carbajo as we're getting set for this matchup coming up at the top of the hour this evening. You're inside the Comfort Designs pregame show as we get you set for this kickoff. We'll talk with the head coach of the Broncos, Jason Feeback. Take a look at the rest of the league schedule, starting lineups, keys to the game. It's all coming up here on this Comfort Designs pregame show. So we're about a half hour away from kicking it off. Well, I mentioned that the fall weather is here. A week ago today, we kicked off at 97 degrees in Paola. 7 days later, 59 degrees, a little chilly, a little rainy. In fact, we just had a little rain shower come through here in the pregame. So certainly a different feel to this Friday night as compared to last Friday when it was 97 degrees at kickoff. It is senior night here for the football team of the Spring Hill Broncos. So those seniors getting recognized tonight. I'll ask Coach Jason Feeback about this senior class coming up as well. But certainly what they call football weather. So for those football weather enthusiasts, they're happy about it. Myself, I'm not much of a cold weather guy, but thankfully we've got a press box up here, so I won't be too wet or cold, hopefully, tonight. But certainly for the players on the field, the cooler weather, I'm sure, is welcomed. They won't have to battle that 97-degree heat as they had to last week. So what do we have tonight? Well, Spring Hill and DeSoto. Last week, Spring Hill lost 35-7 at Paola. Second straight slow start for the Broncos en route to their second straight loss. They trailed 21-0 in the opening 5 minutes of that game before they finally did settle in, and it was a 14-7 game the rest of the way. Second straight week, though, that the Broncos have allowed 21 points in the first quarter. They were down 21-7 against Bonner Springs the week prior at the end of one as well. DeSoto, meanwhile, they continued to roll. They dominated Lansing 56-7 en route to their fourth straight blowout win to start the season. DeSoto has outscored their first 4 opponents of the year 244-40. So they have looked like a juggernaut through 4 games. The schedule has not exactly been murderer's row for the Wildcats, but nonetheless, they have been very impressive in their 4-0 start. They're looking for their third straight 5-0 start this evening to get this season continuing to roll with the 7th-ranked in Class 5A DeSoto Wildcats. They've been very explosive this year, and how explosive, you ask? Well, the DeSoto offense this season averaging 9.5 yards per play. They almost get a first down every time they snap the football, and they're scoring a touchdown every 6 offensive plays. So this has been a very explosive start for an offensive team in DeSoto that is currently putting up a healthy 60.8 points per game. And oh, by the way, they've got a really good defense as well. It's averaging just 7 points against through 4 games this season. So Spring Hill will have their hands full tonight on senior night as they welcome in the undefeated DeSoto Wildcats, who have won 4 straight in this head-to-head series with the Spring Hill Broncos. Last season, it was a 38-12 DeSoto victory over the Broncos. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back here on the Comfort Designs pregame show, we'll take a look at the rest of the Frontier League schedule for tonight. Still to come as well, we'll chat with the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos, Jason Feeback. It's the Comfort Designs pregame show. More coming up right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453. Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Comfort Designs pregame show. Pregame show is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, locally owned and operated for more than 20 years. Comfort Designs is Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. Learn more at comfortdesigns.net or call 913-592-4453. DeSoto in town tonight here on senior night for the Spring Hill Broncos. 2-2 for the Broncos, 4-0 for the DeSoto Wildcats. This is the lone non-Frontier League game of the year for Spring Hill. They'll hop right back into the league schedule with a road matchup at Tonganoxie next week, follow with a road visit to Piper, and then they round out the regular season with a home ball game against Baldwin on October 25th. So that's a non-league game, which means the rest of the league all in action against each other. Your area matchups brought to you by Spring Hill Fitness, your local community gym. Spring Hill Fitness is dedicated to making a friendly, judgment-free environment open 24/7. Check them out on Facebook or call 913-686-2027. Number 3 ranked Paola. They are 4-0 to start the season, and tonight they visit 0-4 Baldwin. So the top against the bottom in the league in that matchup. They rolled past Spring Hill last week, and the Broncos were there to witness that one, of course. And then this one has a chance to get real ugly tonight. Paola has won 5 straight over Baldwin since the Bulldogs last win in that series in 2014. So that's 4-0 Paola, who's 3-0 in the league, at 0-4 Baldwin, who's also 0-4 in the league. Bonner Springs at 2-2, both overall record and in the league. They visit Ottawa tonight, who's 1-2 in the Frontier League, 1-3 overall. The Cyclones have dropped 3 straight after their season-opening victory over Baldwin. And Bonner Springs 2-2, but both those losses have come to the 2 Frontier unbeatens in Paola and Tonganoxie. That's likely a 3rd win tonight in the league for the Braves, but we'll see what happens. Bonner Springs at Ottawa tonight. Eudora, they got their first win of the season last week when they beat Baldwin, and now they go on the road at number 9 Lewisburg, who is 2-2. 2 straight wins for the Wildcats after their 0-2 start. Head-to-head wise, Lewisburg has won 5 straight over Eudora. Last win of that series for the Cardinals back in 2013. And finally, a ranked battle tonight in KC as number 10 Piper hosts number 6 Tonganoxie. And Piper at 3-1 overall, 2-1 in the league. Tonganoxie 4-0 overall, and tied atop the Frontier League standings with Paola at 3-0 in the league. Piper lost to Lewisburg last week, ending a shot of what was looking perhaps like a battle of unbeatens tonight, but that won't obviously be the case. But nonetheless, a good matchup there. A tough opponent coming to town tonight for Piper, as Tonganoxie has scored 40-plus in every game this season, and they're on the road looking to get to 4-0 in the league, 5-0 overall, to likely match what's almost certainly in store for Paola tonight, who's also looking to keep undefeated in both their overall and their league schedule. Those are your area matchups, brought to you by Spring Hill Fitness. When we return here on the Comfort Designs pregame show, we'll chat with the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos, Jason Feeback. He joins us next. You're watching Spring Hill Bronco football as we are about 20 minutes from kickoff with DeSoto tonight on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Weitzel Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Weitzel Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Weitzel and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Weitzel Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Comfort Designs pregame show. Joining us now is Spring Hill head coach Jason Feeback. Coach, let's start with a few thoughts on last week's ball game, a tough loss at Paola. What were some of your main takeaways from that game?
You know, Paola's legit. They're a good team, very physical. We didn't match their physicality. Had a few things, had a few breakdowns go on early. I thought after we settled down, after the first 5 minutes, I thought we played some decent football. Just wasn't enough. To go down there and get the win. So it's a tough one, but they're a good team.
Something we had talked about earlier this season was third downs, and offensively the last couple of games, converting those third downs has been kind of tough. How much has that been the actual execution of the third down plays themselves, and how much of that is more or less about creating better third down situations on your first and second downs?
That's a good point. I think a big part of that is the defenses that we're playing. Paola's a good defense. They haven't given up very many points. Their assignment sound. They fly around. But you get a shorter third down, you got a better chance of getting it. Executing, if you're executing, you probably got a good chance to convert things. Obviously we need to work on our execution, getting more yards on first and second down, and making it easier on third down opportunities.
Evan Letellier stepped in with the start last week at quarterback, and as you've mentioned now, had to face obviously a very tough defense in Paola. He gets a very tough defense again this week with DeSoto. What improvements from Evan are you hoping to see this week as he's heading into his second start now?
Evan's had a good week of practice, and he's one of those guys, he doesn't get too high or too low. And I think just confidence, when you're the second string quarterback, you're not getting as many reps. Well, this week he got all the reps. And so we're looking to see a lot of improvement in week 2 with him at the helm. I thought he had a really good week of practice. He was making really good reads on his inside zone, made some good throws. Seems like he's making the proper reads on his passing also.
Defensively in the secondary, you'll have to have some new faces back there this week as well. Going up against a team that doesn't necessarily throw the ball a ton, but when they do, it seems like they get huge chunks set up off of the way that they are able to run the ball. Of course, talking about DeSoto, what's the main message for your defensive group this week?
We preach all the time about just playing hard, playing fast. We try to simplify everything as much as we can for our guys, and just so they can line up and go play football. And we want them running around like their hair's on fire. So, being able to do that, having a couple new guys in that haven't played a ton in the secondary this week, you got to keep it simple. A lot of run a lot of man coverage on those guys, and just making sure they can do their thing. DeSoto likes to throw a lot of hitches, a lot of fades. So they're either trying to get 5 or 6 yards on a chunk, or they're trying to go for the whole thing. Play action's a big part of it. And, you got to get your safeties involved in the run game. It is triple option. You're testing high school kids to be disciplined and do their job right. And, making sure that hopefully our guys are following their keys and doing all their reads and progressions and eliminating mid plays.
The top two tacklers, as you talk about your defense, your middle linebackers, Jacob Stovall and Wyatt Dickey, neither guy extremely big, but both certainly not afraid to stick their nose in there on a tackle either. How would you describe that duo that kind of leads your team there defensively in the middle linebacker spots?
I love those guys. They're awesome. They're wrestlers, and they're tough, and they're not afraid of anybody. So they know how to get people on the ground, and they compete with each other and they push each other. But they're just kind of small enough they can sneak in there and, holy cow, where'd he come from? And now he's got a guy on the ground for a 1-yard gain. So they've been awesome. And I think the biggest thing, we were talking about this at player development with our guys on Tuesday, is those are two of our most coachable kids we have. And they're also guys that never want to get out. They're always in on every scout team. They're in there with the first defense. If a guy's trying to get in and get reps, they're like, no, I got this. Leave me in. So they just love to play football, and they play hard. So those are some exciting guys.
And final thought, Coach, for this game is senior night for the football players going into this game. So they're going to be recognized prior to this game. And when you think about this class in particular, I know there's a lot of them, so it's hard to necessarily kind of pinpoint one thing or two things or whatever, but just if you could, in general, about this particular senior class, what kind of stands out?
These guys are competitive, and they very coachable, and they're just good kids to be around. They're energetic, and they know how to have a good time. So I think that's the thing I take away with this group here. Is they're such good kids, and they're so they're just so much fun to coach. I'm really having a great time coaching these guys up this year.
That's the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos, Jason Feedback. Coach, we appreciate your time as always, and good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
Coming up next on the Comfort Designs pregame show, tonight's starting lineups and keys to the game on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NATE certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back inside the Comfort Designs pregame show. Getting close to kickoff here, about 10 minutes away from kick between DeSoto and Spring Hill at Spring Hill District Stadium here tonight in week number 5 of the high school football season. Certainly a fall feeling at Friday night for football after 97 degrees at kickoff last week, just 59 degrees here this evening. A quick little shower just came through, but radar looks like we're probably clear the rest of the way tonight, but it'll be a little chilling and certainly a little wet and damp. The humidity very high, so even if it's not raining, it's still going to be slick out there on the turf here in Spring Hill. Let's take a look at our keys to the game tonight. They're brought to you by Crown Realty. Let Crown Realty help you get the keys to your dream home. Check out all of their listings at crownrealty.com. And if you're in the market to sell your home, remember the key is a great agent. That's what you'll find at Crown Realty in Spring Hill. Call 913-592-2222. Let's start with, the start of this game. Good first quarter. That is a huge key for Spring Hill in this one. Last 2 weeks, Spring Hill has allowed 42 first quarter points while scoring just 14 of their own. And when you look at their opponent tonight, DeSoto, they've outscored their opponents 86-0 in the first quarter this season. So they have basically put everybody away that they played in the first 12 minutes of action. Spring Hill cannot let that happen tonight. So good first quarter, a must. No turnovers. And that's been something that Spring Hill has been good at this year, is protecting the football. Just 1 turnover in 4 games. The DeSoto defense has forced 15 turnovers in 4 games. That's nearly 4 per game. They've got 6 interceptions and 9 fumbles. Turnover margin has been a big plus for Spring Hill to this point, as the Broncos are a +7 in turnover margin this season. Just 1 giveaway, 8 takeaways. They've got to be on the positive side of that ledger tonight when we talk about turnovers. And finally, win the field position battle. DeSoto does not surrender much. Their defense is allowing just 7 points per game. And not only do they not allow scoring, but they don't allow much yardage either. Just 200 yards of offense allowed this year. And a lot of that has come in what they call garbage time, late when DeSoto's already up big. So winning the field position battle, a big key for Spring Hill in this game. It's never easy. Life is never easy against DeSoto when you talk about trying to put up points and trying to keep points off of the board, but creating some short fields for yourself, talking about Spring Hill, and some long fields for their offense to traverse, that's a must in this game as well. Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Crown Realty. Now let's take a look at our starting lineups for this ball game. For the Spring Hill Broncos, it's a second straight start for Evan Letillier at quarterback, replacing the injured Corbin Myers, who continues to be week to week for the Broncos, hoping to get him back sooner rather than later. But for tonight, it's Letillier's second career start, second start of the season. Last week in his first start against Paola, went 7 of 17 for 94 yards and had a total of 1 yard in the negative on 5 rushing attempts. Their star running back is Zayd Barker, 85 carries, 472 yards, and 8 touchdowns of the season. 3 consecutive 100-yard games for Barker entering play tonight. Out on the wide receivers, Zach Knowlton, their leading receiver, with 13 grabs for 207 yards. He's a 5'8 sophomore. And Daniel Mitchell, another sophomore at 6'1", 150, has just 1 catch this season. The tight end is Gage Klutz. He'll not your traditional tight end necessarily. They'll split him out and run him down the seam a lot. He's got 8 grabs, 168 yards and 3 touchdowns this year, a 5'11 senior. And Cameron Crotchett gets his second straight start as well. He stepped into the Letillier receiver starting spot when Letillier moved to quarterback to start last week, and Crotchett had 1 grab for 10 yards in his start last week. On the offensive line, Aaron Dominic is the left tackle. He's a senior. Left guard is J.B. Watkins, another senior. Denver Gardner, returning starter at center. He's a junior. Right guard Wyatt George, a returning starter as well, another senior. And Tanner Thompson, the right tackle. He's a junior. On the defensive side for the Spring Hill Broncos, several new faces here. They lost 2 starting safeties last week to injury. Brady Larson, who's out for the year, and Hunter Williard, who's out tonight, but they're hopeful that they'll get him back at some point this season. But that means some shuffling around in the defensive secondary. In steps Zayd Barker to start at safety. So that means Barker, who's their workhorse offensively, is going both ways tonight. So we'll see what impact that has. Hopefully none, but we'll see, as he's going to be trying to play both ways. He'll start at safety tonight for his first defensive start of the season. And Dom Shearer, who normally is a starting corner for the defense, he'll slide back and start at safety in this game. And on the corners will be Anthony Lakin making the start tonight, his first of the season. And also on the other corner is Cody Powell, their normal starter on that side. Linebacking core, the middle are their two leading tacklers, Wyatt Dickey, who's averaging 16.5 per year or per game, and Jacob Stovall, who's averaging 12.5 per game. A pair of seniors in the middle. Those are the top two tacklers. And the outside linebackers are junior Chase Wilm and senior Jackson Roundzon, who's tied for a team high with 6 tackles for loss. Or not tied, but has the team high with 6 tackles for loss. On the defensive ends, it's Carson Downs and Aaron Dominic, a pair of senior defensive ends. And in the middle on the defensive tackle is another senior, Logan Greenhall. Offensively for the DeSoto Wildcats, they're led by a junior second-team All-UKC quarterback for last year, Jackson Miller. His fullback is Garrett Kellner, a 6', 220-pound junior. He's their top rusher this year with 309 yards and 6 touchdowns. Tyson Pretty is their running back, leads the team in receiving yards this year, and he scored 4 touchdowns both on the ground and through the air. His top target on the outside is Hayden Henderson, a 6'3 junior, who's caught 6 passes for 171 yards this year. Jake Rosen, a 5'10 senior, doesn't have as many yards, but he's his go-to guy in the red zone, if you will, with 4 touchdowns, although many of those have come from outside of the red zone. And Aaron Mackay is the senior tight end. The tackles on the offensive line, Blaine Church on the left side, Jared Peterson on the right, Carson Zitlow, the left guard, Logan Newsom is at right guard. He's an honorable mention All-UKC player from last year, and Zach Bergeron is their senior center. Defensively, the name to hear is Luke Barker, a senior first-team All-UKC last year, leads the team in tackles this year, led the team in tackles last year. He's one of their linebackers along with Lucas Nascimento, and in that linebacking core with those two guys is Toby Dawkins as well. And then you're going to have Shane Watts, who's going to come flying down from the safety. He'll play close to the line a lot, 32 in white tonight. Tiger Smiley, another one of those linebackers. Zach Lewis, a defensive tackle. Cooper Flum and Mason Parrish, defensive ends. In the secondary, Dallas Williams, first-team All-League corner last year. Blake Dalsing, another corner. Austin Rosetta and Zach Willis, a couple of safeties for the DeSoto Wildcats defense that's giving up just 7 points per game. That's going to do it for the Comfort Designs pregame show. Coming up next, kickoff between Spring Hill and DeSoto on Spring Hill Sports Live.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
And we welcome you in live to Spring Hill District Stadium in Spring Hill, Kansas tonight, week 5 of the high school football season. DeSoto in town to take on the 2-2 Spring Hill Broncos. DeSoto a perfect 4-0 to start the season, and you just saw the very end of that Coin toss there. It'll be DeSoto who will receive the opening kick after Spring Hill won the toss and elected to defer their decision to the second half. It's time for the opening kickoff, brought to you by Spring Hill Recreation Commission. And with fall sports in full swing, that means the Spring Hill Rec Commission has turned their sights to basketball season. Registration is open now until November 15th for youth basketball in Spring Hill. Register online at springhillrec.org or by calling 913-592-2214. Spring Hill has dropped their last two and hoping to get back in the win column with what would be a very impressive win tonight against a DeSoto team that's absolutely rolling to start the season. And they'll send Dallas Williams and Tyson Pretty back deep for this opening kick. Bear Gardner will get set to do the honors for the Spring Hill kick team as we are on a cool evening, our first real fall weather evening of the football season. It took until week 5. Last week it was as far opposite as you could get. Granted, it was a 4:30 kick last week. Early moved up because of the threat of some severe weather later on in the evening, which did come. But it was 97 degrees at kickoff last week. It's 56 degrees at kickoff here tonight. Had a little rain shower earlier. That seems to have passed, and the weather radar right now, anyway, looks pretty clean the rest of the way tonight. So I think we should remain dry, at least in the seats. But it'll be a little chilly tonight as Gardner gets us underway. And the end-over-end kick is fielded by Pretty at the 6-yard line. And here goes Tyson Pretty for DeSoto out the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Jacob Stovall, one of the starting middle linebackers for the Spring Hill defense. They'll mark it at the 26-yard line. And that is where this DeSoto offense will take the field. They have been extremely explosive this year. They're averaging 9.5 yards per play, a touchdown on every 6 offensive snaps. Jackson Miller is their quarterback, as Garrett Kellner with his hand in the turf behind him as the fullback. Miller going to go to the air on first down, taking a shot on that wheel route, but great coverage, stride for stride with it. Tyson Pretty was Dom Shear. So great job on first down there for Spring Hill, as this is a team that doesn't throw it a bunch in DeSoto. You look at Miller on the year, his per game attempts 11, 7, 6, and 8. So just 32 attempts on the year and 22 completions, but he's averaging 23 yards per completion. Big play offense that's going to set it up with the run. They come out against the scouting report with the pass on first down, but incomplete, so second down and 10 now. That's Pretty, the wingback on the left, who's the motion guy. Option Williams going down to the ground, got the pitch out to Pretty, and Tyson Pretty able to dance around a couple of tacklers, still pulling his way out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Dom Shear wrestles him down after a gain of about 6 yards on second down. So it'll bring up a third down and about 5 here, as this is the first third down opportunity of the night. DeSoto on the year, they're converting third downs at a 67% clip, while the defense for Spring Hill, they're allowing 40% third down conversions on the season. Another option. Pitch goes to Pretty, this time going left. Anthony Lakin, who makes his first start of the season at corner, comes up to make the tackle at the 30-yard line. A loss of a couple of yards for Pretty, and a great play by junior corner Anthony Lakin to take Pretty down to the backfield and force a 3-and-out. Dallas Williams, the punter for DeSoto, comes on, and back goes Dom Shear along with Zach Knowlton, 2 return men back for Spring Hill. Great start for this Spring Hill defense, not getting caught on that first play with the pass from DeSoto and then defending the option well. Knowlton calls for a fair catch and makes it just across the 35-yard line with 10:33 left in the opening quarter. Spring Hill's defense does their job, and now the offense will get their first crack at it, starting at their own 37-yard line. So we talked in our keys to the game about field position, and here's at least for one possession each, a win for Spring Hill. Let's see if the Broncos, though, can take advantage of this good field position from their own 37-yard line. Evan Letillier, second straight week starting at quarterback. The junior was 7 of 17 for 94 yards last week against a very tough defense in Paola, and lucky Evan, he gets another very stout defense this week in DeSoto. Knowlton goes in motion, and a one-handed catch of the snap for Letillier. Option pitch to Barker, and Zaid Barker works his way out to the 43-yard line. Run out by Lucas Nascimento. And Barker able to pick up 6 yards on first down, so 2nd and 4 coming up for Spring Hill. Barker, their workhorse on the year, has carried his per-game carries have been 16, 22, 18, and last week carried 29 times in the loss to Paola. He's behind Letillier on a 2nd down and 4, and Barker gets it, but he's blown up right away. No chance that time, as that's Luke Barker, first team All-United Kansas Conference last year. Leading tackler a season ago. He's leading them again this year with 8.5 tackles per game. He makes the stop there for a 1-yard loss on Barker, and it makes it 3rd down and 5 for Spring Hill. As Barker is a lot to handle in this offensive line for Spring Hill, which has paved the way for 3 straight 100-yard games for Barker. They are definitely going to have to know where 54 and white is. First 3rd down attempt of the game for Spring Hill. Letillier going to check this one and run, and unable to get away from Barker. So back-to-back tackles made by Luke Barker. Letillier is able to pick up a few here. He gets 3 on 3rd down and 5, but a 4th down and 2, and the punting team coming on for Spring Hill. A possession each, a 3-and-out each. Logan Greenhall, the Spring Hill punter, on 16 punts this year, averaging just over 39 yards per punt. He has put 7 of them inside the 20, and a chance perhaps to do that again here. Not much wind at all. It is a cool evening, but it's a pretty calm evening, so that helps cut the cold a little bit, and it could be a lot worse anyway. And that sliding catch made by Tyson Pretty at the 22-yard line, and DeSoto's offense will take the field for the 2nd time in this ball game. They threw on first down their first possession and then went option, once right, once left. And were forced to punt after a 3-and-out that netted just 3 yards their first possession. For the season, this is an offense that's averaging 419.8 yards per game, with 262 of that coming on the ground. 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. And Kellner, their leading rusher, the fullback, gets the carry on first down this time, but picks up just 1. And he's met by that defensive line of Spring Hill that's led by defensive tackle Logan Greenhall and DNs Aaron Dominic and Carson Downs. All 3 seniors up on the front of this 3-4 defense. Downs gets credit for that tackle after a 1-yard run for Kellner. Second down, 9 yards, right between the hashes at the 24-yard line for DeSoto. Second possession, and the snap is fumbled by Jackson Miller and his center, Zach Bergeron. Miller able to fall back on top of it. No gain on the play. And now another 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 9 this time. Both teams went 3-and-out on their opening possession, and now here's DeSoto, who's faced with a 3rd and 9 to try to avoid a 2nd straight 3-and-out. Miller to throw. Throws the quick hitch out to Henderson, and it is Anthony Lincoln again who makes the 3rd down tackle. He held him up and then got a little help as Wyatt Dickey, or rather Zayd Barker, and Chase Wilm came over there and made sure that Henderson was unable to get away from the grasp of Anthony Lincoln, who was holding on, and he did so successfully. It's a 5-yard completion to Henderson, but they're still 4 yards short of a first down, so they'll bring the punting team out as they are now 0 for 2 on 3rd downs to start this game. Good start for the Spring Hill defense. The punt by Williams spiraling its way back to Knowlton at the 34-yard line. He called for a fair catch, and then he took off running, so that's going to draw a penalty flag. Knowlton made the fair catch at the 34, but after you do that, you can't catch it and take off and run like he did on the return. So, unfortunately, what was going to be pretty good field position again for Spring Hill at their own 34-yard line is going to come back near the 20 now. 7:22 left in this opening period. Still no score, as it's been a defensive battle so far. So from the 29-yard line, that's where Spring Hill's offense starts their second possession. A 3-and-out the first time they had it. Started on a healthy run by Barker, who picked up 6 on first down. But then Luke Barker stepped in and shut down the next 2 plays. Letillier, quick throw on first down, nearly picked by Dallas Williams. he had nothing but green space in front of him. That was a touchdown the other way if Williams was able to hold on to it. He's a first-team All-League corner from last year, has 1 interception already on the year, and he's beating himself up over not having a second. That one hit him right in the hands. But fortunately for Evan Letellier, Williams couldn't hold it. So 2nd down and 10. Bunch the receivers up this time, and Knowlton goes in motion. Run it opposite the motion with Zayd Barker. Nothing comes of it, though. That's Shane Watts who made the initial stop, then got some help as well. But Barker is dropped for no gain, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. So they failed on a 3rd and 6, or a 3rd and 5, rather, on their first possession. Now they face 3rd down and 10. Letillier's got to the air just once. That was to start this drive. Nearly had it picked. They'll spread him out again on 3rd down and 10. Corners playing about 7 yards off of these receivers when they need 10 on 3rd down. Quick throw from Letellier. He's got Knowlton on the out route, but Zach Knowlton is taken out of bounds immediately after making the catch at the 37-yard line by Zach Willis. And it will keep him 2 yards short of the 1st down marker. So that's what DeSoto had planned defensively. As long as they made a sure tackle, they were willing to give up that quick pass and then hoping to just rally to the football. They were giving about 7 yards, and Letellier took the safe play, hoping that Knowlton might be able to break a tackle, but he comes up 2 yards short. So 4th down and 2, Logan Greenhall back out to punt again for the Broncos. A little pressure brought by DeSoto, but Greenhall gets away the punt, and it's fielded by Pretty going back towards his own goal line. Now he gets his footing under him, but a couple of flags come flying in as Tyson Pretty is upended at the 21-yard line by Zayd Barker. Looked like a block in the back against DeSoto here. We'll wait for the official call from the officials, but that was what it appeared like anyway. And that is indeed the call. So early on, this battle of field position has been won, or at least, if not won, at least an advantage towards Spring Hill. But so far, the Broncos unable to do anything with their 2 offensive series, but the defense has been up to the task so far. A couple of 3-and-outs forced by this Spring Hill defense, and now they've got DeSoto all the way back at the 9-yard line. As we're almost midway through this first quarter, 2 possessions each without a 1st down in the game yet. Miller from under center, option left. Pitch goes back to Pretty. He's got a little space this time. Keeps his balance and then eventually stumbles. That was Barker who came flying up and got him tripped up initially. But because Pretty was able to keep that balance and dive forward to the 21, he picks up 12 yards and has the game's first down. DeSoto now from the 21-yard line from the left hash. 1st down and 10. Miller wants to throw. Quick hitch. Connects out at the 25-yard line and dropped at the 29 by Cody Powell is Austin Tabor. This is his 5th catch of the year for Tabor. He's had exactly 1 catch in every game this year. So I guess if you're Spring Hill, you can not worry about covering him the rest of the night because he's got his 1 catch that he's had in every game. Of course, I mean that tongue-in-cheek. Don't just leave him wide open. But just exactly 1 grab every game. 4 catches, 87 yards coming in. There's his 5th of the season. It picked up 8. And it's 2nd down and 2. Handoff up the middle to Kellner, and the fullback has a 1st down out to the 36-yard line. Wyatt Dickey on the tackle, but the run to the 36 gives him a 1st down. Pretty, the wingback, goes in motion. A little counter run behind it with Garrett Kellner, and not a lot there for the fullback. Stovall along with Dickey, the middle linebackers in there, and it was Carson Downs on the bottom of the pile. That's a 1-yard run for Kellner. 2nd down and 9 for DeSoto. So they have run 10 plays on offense now, and I mentioned coming in, they were averaging a touchdown every 6 offensive snaps, en route to a 61 points per game season so far. But this has been a little tougher go for this offense. As Miller fakes the toss and the quarterback keeps it out to the 43-yard line. Zayd Barker makes the tackle for the Broncos. They'll mark it just across the 43. That leaves him about 3 yards short of a first down. 6-yard run for Miller, and it's 3rd down and 3. So far, 3rd downs have been won by the defenses. Both offensive units 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Pretty goes in motion, then reverses it. Option. Pitches away to the wingback for the left side, Jake Rosen, and he's got a first down before Dom Shear can drive him out at the 39-yard line. But there is a penalty flag back at midfield. Line judge on the near side threw the flag, and it's another illegal block at the back against DeSoto. So the chain gang had already moved the chains, which that's not good. They're going to have to try and figure out, reset where they were, and that's the officials looking back over there now going, wait a second, guys. But it's going to still be 3rd down. So wipe off the big run on that option to Rosen. They'll try and get these chains reset to where they were. They shouldn't have ever moved in the first place. But they got a little ahead of the game when that run looked like it was going to be a first down. And that's now the officials are going to have to try to figure out, make sure they get this all, the chains set back in the proper spot. Jason Feeback going to get an explanation from the officials here. And again, because the chains had moved, they've got to make sure they get those back to the original spot. And normally you have, and then you see over on the far sideline, the head official is now over there explaining to the DeSoto coaching staff what they're going to do with the chains here. And Brian King didn't seem to like the explanation he was given there. 3:46 left in this first quarter. Still no score. Both teams have had the ball twice. This is now the 3rd possession for DeSoto. They're still working on trying to get these chains back in their proper spots. It was a 3rd down and 3. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember also exactly where the line of scrimmage was, the chains, where they all were, and you think you know it until you don't have the chains there for that reference anymore. So as they have it right now, it's going to be about a 3rd down and 5. The flag happened down the field, so the penalty will come from where the penalty occurred, which that was at about midfield, which is why the ball is spotted at the 40. So that part, there's no question about. They knew that part of it. That was the easy decision for the officials. The question now is getting the chains back to their proper spot because they had picked up and moved shot downfield. So you got the ball spotted at the 40. You've got the yard marker at the 30 or at the 43. And now they're going to put, are they just going to replay the down? Because now they've got them set back up for about a 3rd and 3, which that wouldn't be right. And you can hear the Spring Hill crowd in the background. They're not happy with this decision because now the official may be trying to say, well, that's where the ball was going to come back to because of where the penalty occurred. Or what really might be the case is they're not 100% sure, so they're just going to put everything back to where it was. We're more or less replaying the down here. So 3rd down and 3. Pretty in motion up the middle to Kellner. No, they faked it and pulled it back out to the option to Pretty, who's loose down the left sideline and tripped up at the 30-yard line, but a huge play before Zayd Barker could make the tackle. So after that long delay, because of the chain gang error, all the way to the 31 goes Tyson Pretty. And they pick up 36 yards on a 3rd down and 3 to move the chains. 1st down and 10 from the Spring Hill 31. Miller on a design rollout, throws behind Pretty, makes the catch at the 24, stuck immediately by Shear. They'll give him the 23-yard line of the catch for 8 yards. 2nd down and 2 coming up. Pretty, who's one of their wingbacks, leads the team in receiving yardage at 187. He had 3 grabs for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. That catch went for 8, now 2nd down and 2. Kellner powers his way through the line, down inside the 20. And it's a 1st down for DeSoto with 2:53 left in the quarter. Jackson rounds on the tackle as it moves it down to the 18-yard line. A 5-yard gain for Garrett Kellner, and into the red zone for the first time comes the DeSoto offense. Spring Hill defense, they have been able to make some stops. 11 times opponents have gone in the red zone, only 7 scores. So they have 4 stops this year. An option pitch back to Rosen, and he is wrestled down by the right arm back near the original line of scrimmage. Dom Shear, who started at safety in this game, makes the tackle. He's started at corner the first 4 weeks of the year, but because of injuries last week to both starting safeties, they had to do some reshuffling of this defensive backfield. It's a loss of a yard there on that carry from Rosen. So 2nd down, a little more than 10 to go from the 19-yard line. Under 2 to go in the first quarter, and Miller, pump fake to the left, now swings it back out to the right side, but Tyson Pretty is hit immediately upon catching that football by Dom Shear again. So Pretty will get the catch, but they get only a half a yard out of the play as Dom Shear comes flying up to make another stop. 3rd down and 10 for DeSoto. Under 90 seconds left in the first quarter. A first quarter that's been dominated this year by DeSoto. They've outscored their opponents 86-0 this season in the first quarter. So not necessarily a surprise that they've held Spring Hill in check in their 2 offensive possessions. But the guys in green and white a little bit surprised. They've still got a goose egg on their board. They have not had a team shut them down in the first quarter yet. And a minute to go in the frame. Back to throw. Miller on 3rd and 10. Shot into the end zone is overthrown, incomplete. Legs got tangled up there in the end between Henderson and Anthony Lakin, who's had a great start to this game. A couple of 3rd down stops with his tackling ability, and there a 3rd down stop with his coverage ability. So the incomplete pass brings up a 4th down and 10, and they're going to bring out Eli Gratz, their kicker. 2nd team All-UKC last year. The senior is 28 of 30 this year on extra points. He has just 1 field goal. That was a 32-yarder back in week 2. This will be a 35-yard attempt from the right hash. And the kick from Eli Gratz is wide right, no good. And it's another red zone stop for the Spring Hill defense. That's their 5th red zone stop this year. They have turned their opponent away without points on 5 of 12 red zone opportunities this season. So the Bronco defense up to task for a 3rd possession. Great start for them, even after a couple of chunk plays. Got DeSoto down the field, but the Broncos take over at the 20-yard line. Still scoreless in this first quarter with 50 seconds left in the quarter. Evan Letellier of the offense. Back to work they go. This is their worst starting field position so far of the evening at their own 20-yard line. Letellier gives to Barker on 1st down. And he is taken to the turf by Luke Barker. 24-yard line where they'll mark it. It's a 4-yard 1st down run for Barker. 2nd down and 6 coming up. There's about a 3-second difference between the play clock and the game clock, so the Broncos will have to run one more play in this first quarter. Letellier sends 3 of his wideouts right this time, and it's Crotchet, the low man, out to the left side. They'll run option to that single receiver side. Letellier tucks it, keeps it out to the 26-yard line. Luke Barker, another stop for the leading tackler on this DeSoto defense. A 2-yard run for Evan Letellier, and that will end the first quarter. No score. DeSoto and Spring Hill through 1 here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Weitzel Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Weitzel Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Weitzel and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Weitzel Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020. When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
No scores. We head to the second quarter from Spring Hill District Stadium tonight. 2-2 Spring Hill Broncos with the football, facing a 3rd down and 4 as we start the second quarter against the undefeated number 7 ranked in Class 5A DeSoto Wildcats. And there's movement up front. The defensive tackle, Jonathan Johnson, went right through Denver Gardner, the Spring Hill center, and trying to take advantage of a little anxiousness by the defense coming out of the quarter break, and it pays off. They get the encroachment, and that will move the chains, and a 1st down for Spring Hill. Their first down of the game, and they get it via a encroachment penalty on the defense. So 1st and 10 now for Letellier and the Broncos. Barker on the handoff. Lunges forward just across the 35-yard line. Luke Barker and Zach Lewis on the stop after the 3-yard run for Barker.
2nd and 7 for the Broncos at their own 35.
Excellent start to this ball game for Spring Hill, with the defense having come up with 3 stops already. 2 3-and-outs, and then a red zone stop as well on an Eli Gratz miss from 35 yards. 2nd down and 7. Letellier wants to set up a screen to Barker. Zaid able to make a man miss, and he's very close to the 1st down. At the 41-yard line is where Barker is brought down. Zach Willis made the tackle, but he's a yard from a 1st down. 6-yard completion on the screen pass. So a 3rd down and 1. 1 for 3 on 3rd downs of the game. The one they converted came via penalty. On the year, converting just 27% of their 3rd downs. They converted 5 of 8 against Ottawa, but outside of that, they were 1 of 5 against Lewisburg, 2 of 11 against Bonner Springs, and 1 for 10 last week against Paola. They bring in the Smurf package with Stovall and Dickey leading the way for Zaid Barker. He's got a 1st down as he takes it across midfield. They'll mark him out of the 49-yard line. That's a 10-yard run and a 1st down as they bring in what Coach Jason Feeback called the Smurf package. Why the Smurf package? Because you've got Barker along with Stovall and Dickey in that backfield. And all of them, he said, because they're all under 5'8". Yeah, right there, you bring in those 2 middle linebackers on the starting defense to pave the way for Barker, and it works to perfection for a 10-yard run and a 1st down just across midfield at the 49-yard line. Letellier with a quick throw that's high, intended for Zach Knowlton out of the slot, but incomplete. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Again, Dallas Williams almost got his fingertips on that one after the pass tipped off the fingertips of Knowlton. He's had a couple of opportunities, and both, had he come up with it, would have been touchdowns the other way. 2nd down and 10. 10.5 to go in this second quarter as we're still looking for the game's first points. Knowlton gets it out of the motion, and the jet sweep is strung out by Dallas Williams, who then flips Knowlton to the ground and out of bounds at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. So 3rd down and 10. 2 for 5 in the game on 3rd down for the Broncos. This one, though, at needing a 10-yard. In fact, a little bit more than 10 yards. They've got the ball marked a little bit closer back to midfield. So they got to get about 10.5 here on 3rd down. 3 receivers go left. Cameron Crotchet, he's the lone man at the bottom of the screen there. Snap. Good back to Letellier. Over the middle, it's batted down by Barger. He was trying to hook up with Knowlton, who was likely going to be short anyway. He was about 3 yards shy of the sticks, and there were about 3 white jerseys honing in on him as that ball was headed his way. But Luke Barger made sure it didn't get there anyway, as he was able to jump up and knock that pass down. 4th down and 10. Logan Greenhall will try to do his job and pin DeSoto back deep. 7 punts inside the 20 this year for Greenhall. He's had a couple of punts already. Neither have gone back inside the 20, but he's got a chance to here as he angles it towards the sideline. It's fielded at the 18-yard line by Shane Watts, and he is hit at the hip. The ball came loose. Watts took a big hit right on the hip, but that ball was either recovered or went out of bounds. Recovered by DeSoto or went out of bounds. Either way, it'll stay with the DeSoto Wildcats, who will take over at the 29-yard line. Cody Powell laying the hit on the special teams there. So from the 29-yard line, DeSoto's offense back to work. 2 3-and-outs and a red zone possession that ended in a missed field goal so far. 9:34 left in the first half. No score, DeSoto and Spring Hill. Option pitch back to Pretty, and Tyson Pretty able to get away from a Barker attempted tackle and still making guys miss as he jukes and jives all the way out across the 40 for a 1st down. 12 yards on the 1st down carry from Pretty. Chase Wilm eventually on the stop for Spring Hill, but Pretty is up to 62 yards on 5 carries in this one, which is already closing in on a season high for him. He's only 19 yards short of that number. From the 40, 1st down and 10. Miller to throw. Going deep this time, but out of the reach of Rosen, who looked like he may have picked that ball up late. Didn't seem like he saw that pass, as Miller had to throw it before Rosen was out of his cut. He wasn't able to adjust to that football as Dom Shearer was right there in coverage as well for Spring Hill. So 2nd down and 10 coming up for DeSoto with 9:19 left in the opening half. Still no score in this ball game. Pretty the motion man, but it's Kellner straight up the middle to the 44-yard line. That one shut down by Dominic Stovall and Dickey. After the 4-yard run, it's 3rd down and 6. And a timeout, an official timeout here, as there's an injured DeSoto player able to limp off the field under his own power. That's Garrett Kellner, their leading rusher and their fullback, who had that last carry and appears to have suffered a lower body injury here with his working on his left ankle. So Kellner out for the moment, and a big 3rd down and 6 coming up. Miller on the option pitch out to Rosen, and Jake Rosen has a 1st down. He's able to get across midfield before Lakin could make the tackle. They're going to mark him at the 48 of Spring Hill. So a new set of downs for DeSoto as they pick up 8 yards on that 3rd down carry. So with Kellner out, Russell Coy, junior fullback, has come in to replace him. Now fake to Coy here. Miller under pressure, lost the football. He picks it back up, and now he's got all kinds of space down the far sideline. Jackson Miller takes it all the way down to near the 24-yard line. A busted play turns into a huge play for DeSoto. He was dancing around holding the football like a loaf of bread in the backfield and had it poked loose. But a fortunate bounce for Miller, who was able to scoop it up and get out the back door for a big gain all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a 25-yard run on a busted play for Jackson Miller. First and 10, DeSoto at the 23. 8 and change to go, second quarter. Miller will keep it, and this time he's taken down to the backfield. Logan Greenhall with the tackle for loss, and it's a 2-yard loss on the play for Miller, back to the 25-yard line. Fourth tackle for loss this year for Logan Greenhall. Starting senior nose guard on this defense. Second and 12 coming up to 25 for this high-powered offense that's been shut down so far. They average 61 points per game and 420 yards of offense, but with 7.5 minutes to go in the half, they have 136 yards and no points. Option pitch, Pretty, and he is ushered out of bounds on the 22-yard line. Anthony Lakin and Zaid Barker on the tackle. They'll mark it at the 21 for a 4-yard gain. So third down and 8 for the DeSoto offense. 2 out of 4 so far on third down for DeSoto. This is a 3rd and 8 from just outside of the red zone. Pretty gets the option pitch right this time. And Tyson Pretty is stood up at the 16, 2 yards short of a first down. Cody Powell, along with Aaron Dominic, in to make the tackle. Chase Wilm on the play as well. And they hold him 2 yards short of a first down. So a 4th down and 2. They've attempted a field goal already tonight with Eli Gratz. He missed from 35. This one would be about a 33-yarder if they opted for it, but instead on a 4th and 2, they're going to keep the offense on the field. Still no Kellner, their leading rusher and fullback. It's Coy, who's behind Miller as the fullback, and that's who they toss it to. Russell Coy diving forward for a first down to the 13-yard line. So they needed 2, they got 3, and it's a 1st and 10 in the red zone here for DeSoto at the 13-yard line of Spring Hill.
1st and 10 Wildcats, Spring Hill, 13-yard line.
6.5 minutes to play in this second quarter, and what's been a defensive battle back and forth so far. Spring Hill's defense already has 1 red zone stop tonight, now looking for another. Coy with a 2nd straight carry. Ball might have come out, and it did, and it's recovered by Spring Hill. Zaid Barker comes up with a football as Russell Coy, the backup fullback, in there for the injured Garrett Kellner, coughs it up at the 11-yard line, and it's another takeaway by a fumble for this defense. They have now recovered 9 fumbles this year. All 9 takeaways by the defense have been fumbles, and for the second time in this game, they come up with a red zone stop. Spring Hill will take over the football with 6:12 left in the half. Still no score. And some momentum again back to the Broncos as the defense comes up with a big play. Zaid Barker able to recover that fumble after Coy put it on the turf at the 11. So here's Letillier out of the pistol. Gives it to Barker, and Zaid Barker tripped up at the 16-yard line.
On the carry, 23, Zaid Barker.
It's a 5-yard run, though, so 2nd down and 5 now.
On the stop, number 3, Jack Switzer.
And Barker going to come out of the game now. He's playing both ways tonight,
2nd and 5 for the Broncos at their own
which is
16.
not typical for Barker. But because of the injuries in the secondary defensively, Barker's going to have to go both ways for him tonight. You can see him there. He's going to get his drink of water and try to rest up a little bit here, which means with Barker down for this play, Letillier going to go to the air, and he'll throw it over the middle for Clutch, who makes a bobbling catch at the 25-yard line, and then he's flipped down to the 31 by Zach Willis, but it's a first down as Gage Klutz comes up with a clutch grab out to the 30, near the 32-yard line, a 16-yard completion.
First and 10 Broncos at their own 32.
So that was Dylan Lazenby, who's come into the backfield replacing Barker. And it doesn't appear to be an injury of any sorts to Barker. It's just a chance for him to get some water and rest up a bit. He's got his helmet back on, standing right next to his coaching staff, ready to come back in. But before he does, Lazenby's going to get a chance to tote the rock for Spring Hill, and he picks up a yard to the 33-yard line. Stop made by Zach Lewis and Luke Barker again. A 1-yard run for Lazenby.
On the carry, number 15, Dylan Lazenby.
And Lazenby going to stay in at least for one more snap. Barker continues to rest, and why not? Well, you got a chance the offense moving the football a little bit. Let him rest those legs, get some air back in those lungs and ready to roll again, because they're going to need him a lot more tonight. There's a flip over the head of Knowlton, who gets hit low on the legs, and he landed hard on the turf in the shoulder neck area, but he popped right back up. Zach Willis, the defender who undercut Zach Knowlton, who went up to try to make that catch on the high pass. So Barker has come back in. Lazenby will stay in as well, and Cameron Crotchett will come out of the lineup on a 3rd down and 8. 2 for 5 of the game on 3rd downs. 4:25 remains in the second quarter. Still no score between Spring Hill and DeSoto. So Lazenby stayed in the game, and he is the up back there. It's Barker back in his traditional spot behind Letillier from the pistol. And a little broken play here. Letillier going to try to make something out of it, but can't. Zach Willis, along with Mason Erickson, make the tackle on Letillier for a no gain. There's some miscommunication in the backfield as Letillier could not hook up with whichever running back was supposed to be the guy who was going to get the football there, whether it was Lazenby or Barker. And Jason Feeback on the sideline chatting with Evan Letillier about that last play, you would assume. And unfortunately for Spring Hill, unable to execute on that 3rd down, they'll have to punt it away. Low kick as there was pressure, and Greenhill had to get rid of it in a hurry, but he gets a nice roll. This one's going to go all the way down inside the 20 and come to a rest at the 19-yard line where Cody Powell downs it. So an 8th time this year that Logan Greenhall has pinned a punt back inside the 20-yard line. And with 3:39 left to play in the first half, still no score. DeSoto will take over on offense from their own 19-yard line. Twice the Wildcats have been in the red zone in this first half, but twice they've come away without points. They turned it over on a fumble last possession down at the 11-yard line, and the time before that they had it down inside the 20. They ended up attempting a field goal, 35-yarder that was missed by their senior kicker, Eli Gratz. So here goes Jackson Miller on first down. Not a lot there. Miller grabbed around the ankles and then pushed backwards. Jackson rounds on along with Dickey and Stovall on the tackle at the 20-yard line. It's a 1-yard run for Jackson Miller, but a 2nd and 9 coming up. So they lost their leading rusher on the year, Garrett Kellner, last possession. Russell Coy is still in as the fullback. He's the one who coughed it up as well down at the 11-yard line. Option, Miller keeps it, and he is dragged down at the 24-yard line. So Chase Will making the nice play, the outside linebacker there for Spring Hill. And that will mark it at the 24-yard line. That was a 4-yard run for Miller. Back-to-back times he's called his own number, and now on a 3rd and 5 with just over 2.5 minutes to play in the second quarter. They face their 6th third down of the game, 2 for 5 so far. Miller wants to throw a quick slant, and it is dropped and then picked off, but a flag comes in. Dickey's got the interception, and he is back to about the 24-yard line. But I think there may have been a little early contact. And that is likely going to bring this interception off the board. Officials will discuss. Henderson was the target, and it hit Henderson in the hands, but there was some early contact and a pass interference penalty against Spring Hill. We'll give a first down to DeSoto and put the ball at the 34-yard line. Or no, they're going to put the ball at the 39-yard line. A costly 15-yard penalty there.
39, first and 10.
And it's a first down and 10 DeSoto with 2:19 left in the half. Miller to throw again. They'll set up the wide receiver screen to Tyson Pretty. Crosses the field all the way back to the 47-yard line. He was chased down and brought down by Dom Shear. Clock will tick underneath. 2 minutes left in the half. And from the 47-yard line, it'll be second down and 2 after the 8-yard completion to Pretty, his third grab of this first half. But they've kept him contained. Just 17 yards on the 3 catches so far for Pretty. He's now slot left. Fake the option. Miller to throw down the seam. Pretty is wide open, and he makes the catch at the 20 and coasts in for a touchdown as DeSoto is on the board with 1:34 left in the half. It's a big play offense. Finally hits one of their big plays, a 53-yarder to Tyson Pretty on the post for the touchdown. Coming into the game on just 19 touches, Pretty had scored 8 touchdowns. It hasn't been quite that effective tonight, but he finally hits a big one. And Eli Gratz will attempt the extra point. Low snap, but Gratz able to put it through after that low snap was put down by Aaron Mackay. 1:34 left in the half, 7-0. DeSoto leads Spring Hill here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Your local farmer's insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
1:34 left to play in the first half from Spring Hill District Stadium tonight. 7-0. DeSoto on the board after a 53-yard touchdown from Jackson Miller to Tyson Pretty. Gratz with a short little pooch kick that Jackson rounds on will cover up just outside the 30-yard line. 1:33 left in the half. Well, we talked keys to the game back in the Comfort Designs pregame show. Key one was a good first quarter, and that was certainly a check mark for Spring Hill. It was scoreless after one. The defense was excellent in the first quarter. The offense still trying to find their way against this DeSoto defense, but they are a very stingy one. It's only allowing 7 points per game of the year. No turnovers. They've done excellent in that category so far as well. They're +1 in the turnover margin to this point, and then win the field position battle, which has been pretty even to this point. So all things pretty much check marks as far as keys go. Now can they put together a drive late? Latillier under pressure, evaded the first man on the rush, but can't get away from the second. So Jonah Reynolds had a chance at him, but eventually Zach Lewis is able to make the sack back at the 22-yard line, a 9-yard loss, second down and 19.
Second and 21 for the Broncos at their own 22.
And a timeout is asked for Spring Hill, so the Broncos will take their first half timeout with 1:05 to play until halftime. 7-0 DeSoto with the lead. And at this point now, they had an aggressive mindset going into that first down play, looking to go to the air with it. But after the 9-yard loss, that makes it second down and 19. Now all of a sudden you've got to consider perhaps going a little bit more conservative, and if anything, forcing DeSoto to take a couple of timeouts. With 1:05 left in this half, if DeSoto opts not to take timeouts, they're not going to get the football back. But if you force them to use a couple of timeouts by some safe, quick passes, or just even keeping the ball on the ground with Barker, maybe a screen pass, something like that. If you can break a big one, great. But if not, you don't want to stop the clock with an incomplete pass right now. Second down and 19. Letellier will go with that quick pass, and he completes it to Klutz in the slot out to the 26-yard line, and DeSoto will take the first of their timeouts. So a 4-yard completion, but that's a successful play for Spring Hill, and that you move the ball a little bit, but you also force DeSoto now to take a timeout. You still are going to have a tough third down coming up, third down and 15. But once again, I'm sure that Nick Madeline, offensive coordinator for Spring Hill, will dial something up that at the very least he feels like will keep the clock running at the end of the play and force DeSoto to take another timeout if the Wildcats want to try to get this football back with now 54 seconds left in the half. Two timeouts still left for DeSoto. Spring Hill with two as well. But a third down and 15 coming up. 2 for 6 so far in the ball game on third downs. Trailing 7-0.
Coming out of timeout, 3rd and 15 for the Broncos at their own 26.
So at the 26-yard line here, Letellier will work out of the traditional pistol for this Spring Hill offensive attack. Gives it to Barker on a draw play. Good call out to the 30, just across the 30 for about 4. And another timeout quickly taken by DeSoto. So a fourth down is coming up, and no doubt Spring Hill will send the punt team on the field with 48 seconds left. But at the very least, they forced DeSoto to burn 2 of those 3 timeouts. So the Wildcats will hopefully have a long field to go if Greenhall can get away a nice punt. And only 1 timeout to work with, only 48 seconds to work with as well. Now for the year, DeSoto would tell you, well, we don't need much time to go a long ways down the field. But tonight, it's been a little bit of a different story. They've had a couple of big plays. Of course, the 53-yard touchdown, the biggest of all of those plays. They've had a couple other explosive plays, a 25-yard run by Miller, a 36-yard run by Pretty. But that's it as far as those explosive plays go. Spring Hill's done a good job limiting those. They're going to have to do that again here in the final 48 seconds. So Greenhall to punt. No pressure as DeSoto tries to set up a return and allows Greenhall to get away. A nice kick. Drives Watts back to the 24-yard line. He's got space, but a flag came in. And Watts still on his feet. This is actually a good thing now for Spring Hill. Let him keep running. Granted, they don't know necessarily that there was a flag thrown. We've got the eagle-eye view to be able to see it. But the more Watts runs, the more clock runs. And this one's coming back. There was a block in the back. Right back where that punt was fielded by Watts. So Watkins made the tackle eventually on that long return by Watts, but if they didn't know, we knew that it was all for naught from Watts, as it's coming all the way back in this ball. If they mark it from where the flag lies at the 29-yard line, it'll come all the way back to the 19 with just 33 seconds now left in the half. And that looks like that's where they're going to mark it off from at the 29. So costly penalty for DeSoto in this situation. But now Spring Hill can't let up too much. 33 seconds. They've got to go 81 yards to the end zone. They do have 1 timeout, DeSoto, so Spring Hill still got to play the final 33 seconds out here. No big plays can be allowed here for the Broncos. Miller to throw. Now he'll tuck, try to run. Able to make a couple of guys miss, and he's got a big run as he goes down the sideline and wisely steps out of bounds at the 44-yard line. 25 yards on the run by Jackson Miller. It takes 9 seconds off the clock. It preserves that timeout for DeSoto with 24 seconds left in the half now. They do have a kicker in Eli Gratz who has hit a 32-yard field goal this year. He's missed from 35 so far in this one tonight. Miller to throw. A little pump fake, double move for Henderson down the near sideline, but it's overthrown, incomplete. Anthony Lakin on the coverage for Spring Hill. So that takes 7 seconds off the clock. We're down to 17 to go now. As long as Spring Hill avoids 2 things, penalties and a broken coverage or broken tackles, whichever way you want to put it, just, broken play right now. You avoid those two things, and they should be safe from giving up points with just 17 seconds remaining. Keep it in front, make sure of the tackle. And DeSoto likely going to run out of time here. And now Jason Feeback either didn't like something he saw with his defense, the way they aligned to that player, didn't like a personnel, or saw something out of the formation from DeSoto. But he'll take a timeout with 17 seconds left in the half. That's the second timeout used by the Broncos. So they still got one more. And you can't carry them over. So good use of a timeout here on defense. If you didn't see something you like, no reason to risk it here with 17 seconds left. You can not afford to give up a big play right now. Spring Hill will get the football to start the second half. So you come up with another defensive stop here. You go in, you make a few offensive adjustments against a very, very good DeSoto defense, and got a chance to come back out with the first possession of the second half and tie this football game up. But it all starts with making a stop in these final 17 seconds. Still one timeout for DeSoto as well. They've got second down and 10 coming up at the 43-yard line. And Jackson Miller through the air in this one, 6 out of 10, 83 yards and a touchdown, but 53 of that 83 came on the one touchdown pass to Pretty. Pretty's in the slot right. Miller back to throw, under some pressure, steps up, and he is taken down for a 1-yard loss on a quarterback sack by Jacob Stovall. And they do not take a timeout. They'll let the clock expire, and that will end the first half. So a defensive shootout in this one. 7-0. The DeSoto Wildcats lead the Spring Hill Broncos at halftime in what's been a very good half of football here in week number 5. 2-2 Spring Hill trails 4-0 DeSoto. 7-0 at the half. Coming up next, it's the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show on Spring Hill Sports Live. Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking, and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
And welcome inside the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show. Leah has over 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri. To learn more, call 913-221-0755. Just up the street at 159th and Merlin. Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos. Good football game here at the half. DeSoto 7, Spring Hill nothing. And it's been a back-and-forth defensive battle to this point. A 53-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Miller to Tyson Pretty, the only score of the half. That came with 94 seconds left in the half to give DeSoto that 7-0 lead, and that's where we stand here at the half. And due to popular demand, we're going to let you enjoy the halftime performance from the Spring Hill Marching Band here tonight on the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance Halftime Show. So here you go. Here's the Spring Hill High School Marching Band at halftime on a 7-0 ball game. DeSoto leading Spring Hill. When the marching band performance is over, we'll get you all the stats and more here on the halftime show.
The field is yours for performance.
What did I do? Yeah, let's hear you explain it. You didn't purposely, you ate it on purpose. Were you there? Were you there? No, tell the whole story. Oh, yeah, trust me, I know. I just ran into some good stuff. After I like this for like 5 years. Well, that I know.
Thank you, Spring Hill High School Marching Bronco Band.
And there we go, a great performance from the Spring Hill High School Marching Band here on the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance Halftime Show. We continue with it right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Weitzel Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Weitzel Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Weitzel and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Weitzel Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NAIC certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients' online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Leah Smith Agency Farmers Insurance halftime show. It's a 7-0 halftime lead for DeSoto on top of the Spring Hill Broncos. Your eye on the game brought to you by White Cell Optometry and Vision Source. Keep an eye on your child's screen time. If they're experiencing eye strain or headaches, it might be a good time for an exam. Make an appointment with White Cell Optometry Vision Source by calling 913-592-2020. And be sure to ask about the 2020 rule. 7-0 DeSoto, a 53-yard touchdown pass from Jackson Miller to Tyson Pretty, the game's lone score. That came with 1:34 left in the second quarter. Part of a 238-yard offensive first half for DeSoto. 155 on the ground, 83 through the air. Spring Hill held to just 63 yards in the first half, 29 rushing and 34 passing. Individually for Spring Hill, Evan Letillier, 4 of 8 for 34 yards through the air, 4 carries for -4 on the ground. Zade Barker has carried 8 times for 31 yards. 2 catches for 20 yards for Gage Klutz, 1 for 8 for Knowlton, 1 for 6 for Barker. And for DeSoto, Jackson Miller, 6 of 10 for 83 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Miller has carried 8 times for 57 yards. Tyson Pretty, 8 carries for 80 yards. Garrett Kellner, their leading rusher on the year, just 5 carries, 16 yards. He was lost to an injury in that second quarter. We'll see if he comes back here in this second half. Russell Coy with 2 carries for 3 yards and a lost fumble. Tyson Pretty, 4 catches, 70 yards, including that 53-yard touchdown. Austin Tabor had 1 grab for 8, and Hayden Henderson 1 for 5. Those are your stats. That's your score. 7-0 DeSoto. Second half kicks off next here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NAIC certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back live to Spring Hill District Stadium in Spring Hill, week 5 of the high school football season, and a good one here between the undefeated 4-0 7th-ranked DeSoto Wildcats and the 2-2 Spring Hill Broncos here on senior night for the Broncos, and they are down a touchdown as we start the second half. DeSoto leads it 7-0, but the Broncos will be set to get the football to start half number 2. Chance to remind you as well, with the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, tickets are on sale now for the 2019 Awards Dinner, which is scheduled for Tuesday, November 12th. Get tickets at springhillks.org, and while you're there, check out information on Leadership Spring Hill, a comprehensive leadership and civic development program starting January 2020. They're now accepting applications. So here we go, second half. Eli Gratz will kick it off for DeSoto. And he sends the wobbling kick out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So great field position to start for Spring Hill. They'll take over on their own 35-yard line as we get this second half underway. It's been a tough go offensively. Mentioned those stats there in the halftime show. 63 yards of offense is all for Spring Hill. And it hasn't been because Spring Hill's been bad offensively. It's really just a matter of they're going up against a really good defense. And last week they saw a really good defense in Paola, and they're seeing another one that's just as good, if not better, tonight in DeSoto. So first down and 10 at the 35-yard line. Evan Letillier, who was 4 of 8 passing the football in the first half and had nowhere to go in his 4 carries in the first half, will start it, and they put it on the ground, and it's scooped up by DeSoto. So one play into the second half, and the Broncos turn it over for just the second time this season. Jonah Reynolds picks up the football that was just laying there on the turf after Letillier and Barker were not on the same page on that one. Letillier was giving, Barker thought he was keeping, and it turns into a turnover on the first play of the second half from the 31 of Spring Hill. It's first down and 10 DeSoto. Just their second giveaway of the year for this Spring Hill offense. Their other was an interception. There's a run on first down for DeSoto as they hammer it down to the 28-yard line with Russell Coy. A 3-yard run for Coy, who replaced Garrett Kellner in the first half when Kellner left with what looked to be a lower leg injury, and we have not seen Kellner in the game since. He is standing on the sideline, but he's got a helmet in his hand, not on his head, but he does have his helmet, so there's a chance maybe he'll come back in. But for now, they're going to roll with Coy, and this is Jake Rosen on the option. He takes it down to the 24-yard line. Dom Shear up to make the stop for Spring Hill. And a couple more yards on the carry there for Jake Rosen. And it brings up a third down and 3 yards to go at the 24-yard line. To the 4-yard run. 3 out of 6 on third down to the ball game. Again, option. This one's on the turf, but it takes a fortuitous bounce up for Jake Rosen. He's going to be, it looks like maybe a yard short of the first down, but that could have been so much worse for DeSoto, as they've had now a couple of times tonight the ball be put on the turf and just bounce right back up into their hands. Takes it to the 22-yard line. They need one on what will be a 4th down and 2, or a 4th down and 1 after the 2-yard run. They converted their only 4th down attempt so far in this one. That was a 4th down and 2 earlier. They got 3. And it's a 4th down and 1 from the 22 of Spring Hill. Motion to the backfield. Looked like Coy jumped. They don't call it, though. Now there's a flag comes in late. Pretty went in motion as the wingback, but then the fullback, Coy, he had a little bunny hop forward, and they're going to call it. The should have been a false start, no play, but they were a little delayed in seeing it, so they let the play happen, but the head official did throw the flag on it. So it's going to be 4th down and 6 now from the 27-yard line after that false start. And they'll still keep the offense out there in a little bit of no man's land right here. Too far for the field goal. Don't gain a lot by punting. So a 4th down and 6. And DeSoto will go for it. Jackson Miller rolling to his right. Gives a pump fake. Now lobs it deep down the sideline and incomplete in the end zone. Great coverage by Dom Shearer on the play for Spring Hill. So that false start was critical. A 4th and 1 turned to a 4th and 6, and an incomplete pass and a turnover on downs as it's another stop, this time not officially in the red zone for the defense, but they were right there knocking on the door at the 22-yard line. And the Spring Hill defense, after the offense turned it over on their first play of the second half, set up DeSoto at the 31-yard line. DeSoto couldn't have asked for a better start to the second half, but then the Spring Hill defense put the clamps down. Great job of the Bronco D. Here's Letillier on first down on a read option. No miscommunication this time. Pulled it out of the belly of Barker and takes it out to the 40-yard line for an 18-yard run, or rather a 13-yard run, and a first down. From the 40, a first down and 10, trailing 7-0 with 9:45 left, third quarter. Been a great, well-played football game by these two teams tonight. Here's Letillier out of the pistol. Again, pulls it away from Barker and keeps. And Evan Letillier with a flag thrown takes it to the first down markers right at it. 10-yard run by Letillier, but it's coming back on a holding penalty.
Holding against the Broncos.
Well, Spring Hill has not been penalized much tonight. But it seems like when they do, this year even, they haven't been penalized much. But it seems like whenever that one flag comes, it wipes off something big like that. The penalty happened 5 yards down the field. So marked it off from the 45 back to the 35. And it's first down and 15 for Spring Hill. Down a touchdown with 9:23 and counting left, third quarter. Three receivers right. Klutz tight to the line as a tight end. And Letillier this time gives to Barker. Trying to get around the edge. Shane Watts didn't make the tackle, but he might as well have, as he was able to keep Barker from turning the corner and forced him to keep angling towards the sideline. Dallas Williams eventually took him out of bounds a yard behind the line of scrimmage, so second down and 16 after the 1 yard loss. Barker working on 3 consecutive 100-yard games entering play tonight, but he has been held mostly in check by the DeSoto defense. 9 carries, 30 yards in the game for Barker. His long carry is 10. He's behind Letillier on second and 16. Evan wanted to throw, but they had everything covered up, and a coverage sack for the DeSoto defense as Letillier is driven down in the backfield by Toby Dawkins. Luke Barker in there as well. They're going to give him forward progress actually up to the 32, so they lose just 2 yards on the play. But it brings up a 3rd and 18. Crotchett, the lone receiver right. Knowlton, Klutz, and Mitchell inside to outside on the left. 3rd and 18 for Spring Hill. Showing some pressure, DeSoto brings 5 on the rush, and that pass is caught at the 40-yard line. Great grab going up in traffic by Daniel Mitchell to make the catch. They're going to be well short of a first down as they pick up 7 yards on 4th and 18, but a nice play nonetheless. Will gain him a little bit of yardage on the punt, I suppose. And now Logan Greenhall is out there to do that job with 8 minutes left in the third quarter and a 7-0 DeSoto lead. Shane Watts, the deep man for DeSoto. And Greenhall will drive this punt away from Watts over near Tyson Pretty, who goes back inside of his 10-yard line, now won't pick it up and let it come to a rest at the 9. Beautiful punt by Logan Greenhall. Dylan Lazenby down there to down it officially at the 9-yard line. 7:37 left to go in the third. A 7-0 DeSoto lead on top of Spring Hill, and the Wildcat offense were gifted the football at the 31 of Spring Hill for their first second half possession, but ended up turning it over on downs after a failed 4th and 6. From the 27-yard line, they got it down to the 22 on a 4th and 1 before a penalty moved it back. Up the middle of Tyson Pretty. There's a lot of ball faking going around on that play, but not fooled. The Spring Hill defense able to wrap up Pretty and take him down for very short yardage. Chase Wilm on the tackle after a 1-yard gain.
On the tackle, 23, Zach Barker. 2nd
So Pretty, 9 carries, 81 yards in the game. He had one big 36-yard run earlier. And other than that, like Barker on his counterpart, both running backs have been held in check quite a bit. Pretty again, this time on the option left. And he's right at the first down markers. Downs, Barker, Shear, Lakin, all of them rallied to the football. And it looks like it's a first down, but they're going to measure. No, they are going to give him the first down. So that's a 9-yard run to move the chains for Pretty. Clock underneath 7 minutes in this third quarter. And a 7-0 lead for the DeSoto Wildcats on the road, looking for their third consecutive 5-0 start to a season. They haven't been tested at all this year with blowout wins every week. Tonight, though, they're getting 4 quarters worth, or at least it appears that way, as Henderson makes the catch on the slant, Lakin the tackle, but the pass out to the 33-yard line for 13 moves the chains. Second catch of the game for Hayden Henderson. So far in the year, DeSoto with a 51-19 win over Leavenworth, 66-14 over Wyandotte, 71-0 over Turner, and 56-7 over Lansing last week. But a 7-point edge is all for the Wildcats right now with 6:20 left in the third quarter. Russell Coy out to the 37-yard line for 4 yards. Jackson rounds on the stop. Second down, 6 yards to go from the 37-yard line. Clock underneath 6 to play in the third. Pretty, the wingback in motion. Handoff up the middle to Coy again. He's upended at the first down marker on the 43-yard line. 6-yard run. And he's got another first down. Well, DeSoto has certainly moved the ball better than Spring Hill in this game. The Wildcats right now with 280 yards of offense compared to just 80 yards of offense for Spring Hill. But the Bronco defense, as much as they've bent a little bit in this game, they have only broken once. A 53-yard touchdown late in the first half on a pass down in the middle of the field on a post to Tyson Pretty, the wingback. That was Coy again on the carry for another 4 yards up to the 48-yard line. Logan Greenhall on the tackle. So second down and 6, and that's what Jason Feeback, the defensive coordinator and head coach of this Spring Hill squad, is asking for his guys to do again. Don't break, make a stop. Pretty on a little counter action. And it was Dickey who had him on the ankle initially, slowed him up, and allows Anthony Lakin, along with Chase Wilm, to come in and make the tackle. Takes it down to the 46-yard line, though, and it's another first down for DeSoto. They pick up another 6 yards, and this is just slow and steady on this drive, which started all the way back at the 9-yard line. Longest play of this drive, though, only 13 yards to this point. They have just 4 here, 6 there. Up the field they come. It's Russell Coy again. Stood up for a very short gain, just a yard on that carry. Carson Downs slung him back. Clock already nearing 4 minutes left in the third quarter. A second down and 9. Yard down, or the yard marker across the field, you see shows 1, but it is second down here. Rose in the motion man. They'll run option. Miller, there's the pitch. Rosen gets blown up, but he held on to the football somehow as Cody Powell laid the hit on Rosen right as he was catching that pitch. A 1-yard gain is all for Rosen, and he took some punishment for that 1 yard, but still managing to hold on to the football. That had fumble written all over it as Powell lowered the shoulder into him. Third down and 8. Just across midfield. DeSoto sends Rosen out of the wing in motion, and they go up the middle to Coy. He's churning the legs down to the 39-yard line. Got a little more than I thought he was going to out of it. Still only a 4-yard run, though, and it will bring up 4th down and 4. Decision time for DeSoto. They've gone for it twice on 4th downs, converting one of them. This a 4th and 4 from the 39-yard line. As successful as their defense has been, it would kind of be tempting, you'd think, for them to try to pin this ball deep and let the defense try to either come up with a big play or make a quick stop to get the offense the ball back in great field position. But they're going to keep the offense out there and at least show like they're going to go for it. May try to draw them off sides. And that's, I think, what they're doing. Pretty went in motion. There's a little movement up front by Spring Hill's defensive line, but they never got into the neutral zone. And a timeout is taken by DeSoto with 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. So good job of the defensive line there, not bursting into that neutral zone and giving up a first down. And now let's see if DeSoto indeed keeps the offense on the field or whether that was simply an effort of trying to draw Spring Hill off sides, and now they'll bring the punt team. I think the way their defense is played, if I'm Brian King right now, the head coach of DeSoto, I'm sending the punt team out there and pinning this football ideally deep into back inside the Spring Hill 20 and saying, hey, defense, go get us this football back, which would, if you do it quickly, give you a good field position again, as the DeSoto defense has allowed just 80 yards in this game to Spring Hill. The Broncos are averaging just 2.3 yards per rush attempt in this game and only have 41 yards total through the air. But it's going to be the offense who stays on the field. So if the Spring Hill defense can make another stop here, they've had many stops in this game. They need another one here to give the offense the ball back in great field position. From the 39, 4th down and 4. They do snap it this time. They run option. Pretty on the pitch, and Tyson Pretty's got a first down as he works the sideline down near the 30. Let's see where they officially mark it out. It looks like the 28-yard line. So they get 11 on 4th down and 4. A little misdirection option play that time. Got him some open space. And it's a 1st and 10 DeSoto. Even though they're knocking on the door again, Spring Hill's defense has been up to the task multiple times down here in this part of the field. Coy on the handoff, nothing there. Downs and Greenhall had the middle stuffed up. Stovall in there as well. They'll mark at the 26-yard line for a 2-yard run for Russell Coy. 2 red zone stops in this game for the Spring Hill defense and another stop just outside of the red zone. Under 2 to play in the third quarter. DeSoto trying to add to a 7-0 lead. Second down and 8 for Miller and the Wildcats. And it's Pretty, but he's got nowhere to go. Cody Powell, along with some help, drive it backwards. It was Jackson Roundzon who was initially in there to mess that play up in the backfield. And Powell slings it backwards to the 29-yard line. So a loss on the play of 3 yards, and it's 3rd down and 11 for DeSoto. This is a big play. You know DeSoto's mindset right now. They believe they've got 2 plays if they needed to get this 11 yards. They aren't necessarily looking to get all 11 right now, so if you're Spring Hill, you still got to look for anything. Run is still an option, but they will pass. Miller has some time. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, throws low and near the sideline, incomplete, intended for Tabor. Good pressure by Jackson Roundzon, and now a 4th and 11. And now what do you do if you're Brian King? 4th downs are hard enough to convert, especially 4th and 11s, but you're likely out of field goal range for Eli Gratz, and you don't gain hardly anything by punting unless you get a great punt. So they're going to go for it again on 4th and 11. They're 2 for 3 on 4th downs in this game. This, though, certainly the toughest of their 4th down tries on a 4th and 11 from the Spring Hill 29-yard line. Miller will go to the air as expected. He lobs it over to Rosen at the 20-yard line, and Rosen is stood up and tackled right at the first down marker. This is all about the spot. Oh, this one's going to be close. Zaid Barker made the tackle, but did he make it soon enough? Jason Feeback says he's short. We haven't seen a signal from the official yet. The Broncos are pretty confident that he's short. Officials staring across the field, and he is short. He comes up a half yard short, and they turn it over on downs. Zayd Barker made the tackle with very little room to spare on a 4th and 11. They get 10 to Jake Rosen, but they needed 11, and they turn it over on downs. Again, down near the red zone. This Spring Hill defense coming up with big stop after big stop in the game. They keep DeSoto off the board again with 42 seconds left in the third, but now the offense has to come through for them. 7-0 DeSoto, 42 seconds to go in the third. Dylan Lazenby will start this possession as the running back after Barker made that 4th down saving tackle, and Lazenby gets the carry, but there's nowhere to go. Young running back is dropped back at the 18-yard line for a loss of 1. Shane Watts on the tackle of the sophomore running back. So Barker sets out the first play of the series, and he'll come back into the lineup now on 2nd and 11. And Spring Hill does not have to run a play here if they don't want to. There's 10 seconds left, and there's 15 on the play clock. They could take advantage of a little extra rest time for Barker, but here's Letellier takes the snap with 2 to go. He'll throw over the seam, and it is intercepted at the 34-yard line by Zach Willis. Willis on the interception looked like it was close to possibly popping out as he dove onto the turf, but he holds on for the INT, the second turnover of the third quarter for Spring Hill on the quarter's final play. 7-0 DeSoto as we go to the fourth, and the Wildcats have it back here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsurancegroup.com.
Your home for Bronco Athletics is Spring Hill Sports Live. The Broncos hit the road Friday as they travel to Tonganoxie to take on the Chieftains. Our pregame coverage starts at 6:30, kickoff at 7. It's the Broncos and Chieftains Friday right here on your home for Bronco Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
Back here in Spring Hill, we start the fourth quarter. 1st down and 10 DeSoto after the turnover. And they're going to take a shot on their first snap, but Tyson Pretty, the intended receiver, was blanketed down the field there. No chance to fit a pass in there with Dom Shearer all over the coverage. 2nd down and 10 coming up now for DeSoto. They get the turnover, second turnover of that third quarter against or by the Spring Hill offense. The first one came on the very first play of the third quarter. That didn't end up costing Spring Hill anything. They were able to make the stop defensively, and now the defense, who's made so many big stops in this game, is asked to do it again. Option, Miller. He's drugged down by Roundzon. Jackson Roundzon on a takedown in the backfield. He leads this team in tackles for loss with 6 coming into this game, and he's got a couple more tonight. That one made back at the 37-yard line. Or the 36 is where they'll mark it on that stop. So a loss of 3 on the play, and it's 3rd down and 13. 3 out of 8 in the game on 3rd downs is the DeSoto offense. Miller to throw. Again under pressure from Dominic. Rolls to his left, takes a big hit as he throws it off the hands of Henderson, who had a real good shot at hauling that one in down near the goal line. Anthony Lakin, the coverage man for Spring Hill, but Henderson had a pretty good shot on what was almost just a prayer thrown up there by Miller, with Roundzon again closing in on him and laying a big hit on the quarterback as he threw that one. And Miller a little slow to get up and slow walk back into the huddle. What will be a 4th down and 13 coming up. So Spring Hill has forced the punting team out of the field now. Not going to go for it on 4th and 13 from the 36-yard line. And now I think Brian King is playing the idea that I was tossing around earlier. This defense has been so good for DeSoto. Try to pin Spring Hill as deep as you can, but now a penalty flag has been thrown, and it's a delay of game against DeSoto. Well, all in all, that's not a costly penalty by any means, although they took a timeout, actually. And honestly, I think I'm saving the timeout. They're marking a 5-yard penalty off here, but the teams are huddled up as if a timeout's called. Now the official is bringing it back. So, yeah, the timeout was taken by DeSoto. In my opinion, you'd been better served just taking the delay of game here. You're punting from the 36-yard line or you're punting from the 41-yard line. Either way, in fact, it might even be easier for your punter 5 yards deeper to avoid kicking a touchback. So they'll take the timeout. They've got now just one timeout remaining in this second half with 11 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. They took the timeout, if you remember, earlier in this half before the 4th down and 1 play, or 4th and 4 play when they were trying to draw Spring Hill offside. So they've taken 2 of their 3 timeouts now. Dallas Williams will punt it. And that is off the side of the foot, angled to the sideline, and goes out of bounds around the 15. We'll see where they mark it officially. It's going to be at the 16-yard line. So all in all, a decent job by Williams. He did put it out inside the 20. And Spring Hill will have a long field to go. 11:03 to play. And the Broncos down 7-0 here to DeSoto. Just 80 yards of offense for Spring Hill. In fact, 79 yards of offense now. After last series, they lost one. And then threw an interception on the second play of that last series. So Letillier out of the pistol. Right back to work they go. On the ground this time to Barker, and Zaid able to break through the line. Out to the 25, near the first down markers. It's a 9-yard run for Zaid Barker on first down. They have yet to be able to spring him for anything more than 10. That 9-yard run, the second longest of the game for Barker. Clock running at 10:40 left in the fourth quarter. Spring Hill faces 2nd down and 1, trailing by a touchdown here in the 4th at home on senior night. Against the undefeated Class 5A 7th-ranked DeSoto Wildcats. Back to Barker, go the Broncos, and Zaid able to push the pile forward to the 30, or rather the 27-yard line for 2 and a first down. Right now, Spring Hill, as much as you'd love to be able to break a big play, I'm not sure DeSoto is going to give up anything big. So this has to be a disciplined 3 yards in a cloud of dust type drive for him. The margin for error against a defense that won't break for big plays is so small, and they got to keep just moving this ball slowly but surely forward. This will help as Evan Letillier on the read option takes it out to the 36-yard line for another 9. They might have given him 10 to the 37. And they do. That's a first down for Letillier on a 10-yard run. That's been about the max you can get against the DeSoto defense. They've got runs of 10, 10, and 13, and one pass play more than that of 16. So 16 yards, the longest play on offense in this game for Spring Hill. But so far, on 3 plays of this drive, they've ripped off 9, then 2, and then 10. It's a 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. And they try Barker up the middle, but he's stonewalled for a loss perhaps. Barker, along with Parrish, make the tackle. No gain on the carry for Barker. 2nd down and 10. Clock down to 9 minutes to play in the ball game. Three receivers left, and Cameron Crotchett, the lone guy, going right for Letillier on 2nd and 10. Option to the short side. The pitch goes back to Barker, and he is cut down to the backfield Another good play made by Zach Willis, who had that interception earlier, and now he comes up with a tackle for loss. So 3rd down and 11, 8.5 minutes to go. DeSoto clinging to their 7-0 lead. The touchdown came with 1:34 left in the second quarter, a 53-yard touchdown pass to Tyson Pretty. The game's lone points to this juncture with 8:15 left in the fourth. And they go screen for Knowlton, but it's covered up like a blanket by the DeSoto defense. They had that one all the way. Shane Watts and Zach Lewis, among several others, were right there to make sure that Zach Knowlton had nowhere to go. And he, in fact, loses 3 more back to the 34-yard line on the completed screen. So another punt coming up for Logan Greenhall. You get the feeling that it might take a defensive score for Spring Hill if they're going to knot this game back up. The defense has forced a turnover, and they've been close to forcing a couple more. Good high punt, and a fair catch is called for, but it's muffed, and there to scoop it up is Shane Watts. So once again, that's the 3rd fumble that's been recovered by DeSoto. They also lost a fumble, but they've fumbled now 4 times. They've recovered 3 of them. Shane Watts right there on the spot to recover it at the 35-yard line. So missed chance. Can the defense create another opportunity? DeSoto football up a touchdown with 7:56 to play in the fourth.
1st and 10 Wildcats, their own 35.
Rosen goes in motion, and they run option to him. Jake Rosen trying to get to the corner, cuts it back, and he's brought down to the 40. Dom Shearer up to make the stop. Chase Wilm in on the tackle as well, but it's a 5-yard run to Rosen on the option. 2nd and 5 with 7.5 to go. Miller this time gives to the first man through, the fullback Coy. He stood up and brought backwards. Wilm and Downs, along with Roundzon and Stovall, all there. They take it to the 42 for a gain of 2, but it's 3rd down and 3. A 3rd and 3 for DeSoto. Just shy of midfield. Under 7 left of the ball game. Option with Rosen as the back, and Miller spins forward for the first down. Again, close to making a stop. Barker and Roundzon tackled Jackson Miller a half-yard across the line to gain. So 1st down and 10 from the 46 with 6.5 to go. DeSoto working on milk at the clock at this point. Spring Hill's defense, do they have another big stop in them? On 1st and 10. Coy gets the handoff, and he falls forward to the 48 for 3. Stovall on the tackle. Going to give him almost 4 yards on that carry as they mark it almost out to the 49. Clock ticks underneath, 6 to play. 2nd down, 6 yards to go for DeSoto. A yard shy of midfield. Rose of the motion man, option with Miller. Pitch behind him, but he's able to corral it and picks up a couple across midfield. Eventually tripped up by Barker. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short from the Spring Hill 48-yard line. A 3rd and 3 coming up. 3 out of 9 in the game on 3rd down conversions. They have not been shy about going for it on 4th down either, with 4 4th down attempts of the game. That looked almost like 2 men in motion at the snap. Pretty was the second one to start, and he gets the pitch and picks up a 1st down. That was very close. with the normal wingback motion from Rosen, and then Pretty just got a start. It looked almost, to the naked eye anyway, to me, it looked like he got a start about a half second before that snap came, but no flag thrown. That's the only ones who matter if they see it or not. So it's a first down run to the 44-yard line. Five minutes left of the ball game. First and 10 at the 44 of Spring Hill. Fake the toss. Miller to keep it himself. Down inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Jacob Stovall makes another tackle for the Spring Hill defense. It'll be second down at about 3. Right now that clock just slowly ticking away on the Spring Hill chances of this game. Certainly one score is tough. 2 seems insurmountable at this point. So Spring Hill's got to come up with a defensive stop. Ball is loose on the field again as they fumble a snap, and Miller recovers it. A 5th fumble. But another recovery for Miller. No gain, brings up third down and 3. Just one of those. Spring Hill wants to bounce their way. I guess I should say 2 because they did get 1. Recovered a fumble back in the first half. The lone turnover of the game for DeSoto. Spring Hill's given it away twice. Nobody has scored off of any of those turnovers, though. Third down and 3. Miller wants to throw for Henderson, who makes the catch and has a first down. Anthony Lincoln made the tackle right away, but Henderson got to the sticks, turned around, hitched up with his quarterback for 5, and a first down. And that will keep that clock ticking. 3:45, and it continues to run. First and 10 coming up at the Spring Hill 33-yard line. And now you're just a couple of first downs away from draining the whole thing. Miller wants to keep after the fake toss, and Jackson Miller breaks free, cuts it back, and he's got nothing but the end zone in front of him. DeSoto scores on a 33-yard quarterback keeper from Jackson Miller. And with 3:25 to go in the ball game, it's now 13-0 Wildcats. Ninth, or rather a 10th total touchdown accounted for this year for Miller. Second on the ground only. That's back-to-back weeks, though. He's now had a rushing touchdown. That one from 33 yards out. Gratz on the extra point try. He adds that to make it 14-0. DeSoto leads Spring Hill with 3:25 to go in the fourth on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to Cool Crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
14-0 DeSoto on top of Spring Hill with 3:25 left to play in the fourth after a 33-yard touchdown run from Jackson Miller. They scored late in the first half and they scored late in the second half. And now Spring Hill has to do something that DeSoto really hasn't allowed much of at all this year, and that's score quickly. They haven't allowed many scores, period, giving up just 7 points per game, and DeSoto now needs double that in 3.5 minutes. Shear brings the return back near the 35-yard line. So that's where the Spring Hill offense will start from with 3:19 to go, and they've got to find a way to score 2 touchdowns. 97 yards of offense in this one. Coming into today, their season low was 226 yards total offense last week at Paola. And that's how good this DeSoto defense has been tonight. So Letillier likely going to be forced to put the ball in the air now. With 3:19 to go, needing 2 scores. He will throw over the head of Knowlton, but then caught by Crotchet at the 42 or 3-yard line. Crotchet was immediately brought down by Zach Switzer. The mark at the 43 for an 8-yard gain. 2nd down and 2, and they've got to move quick. No huddle, they get to the line. Under 3 to play. Letillier surveys, takes the snap, throws quickly low, but caught by Klutz. He's got a 1st down at the 47-yard line. 4-yard completion will stop the clock momentarily. Spring Hill hurries to the football, looking to the sideline for the play call, and now the clock begins to wind with 2:48 to go. Letillier barks out the signals, takes the snap, and throws the slant. It's tipped up in the air at the line and falls incomplete. Well, they've gone short on their 3 passes so far. About time you hit them with a little slow go here, the little slant and go, with a stop and go, something to try to take advantage of that secondary creeping up on those short slants and out routes. 2:40 left, down 2 touchdowns. 3 receivers left, and Crotchet goes right for Letillier. Design a rollout to his left, throws towards the sideline, and it is incomplete off the hands of Gage Klutz. Shane Watts, the cover man there for DeSoto. So 3rd down and 10 now. Well, you know you've got 2 downs to get it. So at the very least here, Spring Hill wants to make a more manageable 4th down, knowing that clearly you're going for it. Zach Knowlton runs the play in. Klutz has 3 grabs. Knowlton, Mitchell, Crotchet, and Barker have all got passes in the game as well. Knowlton, the only one with multiple catches outside of Klutz. He's got 2. Here's the 3rd down and 10. Little pump fake. Letillier, though, under pressure, spins away from it, and now he's hit and dropped back at the 39-yard line. Lucas Nascimento. Letillier was able to escape the initial wave of pressure, but just could not get in a position to be able to release the pass. He was having to roll to his left, which obviously didn't help either. So the Broncos are forced to take a timeout as too much clock was going to tick away as they try to regroup after that big loss. 6-yard loss on the sack, so it'll be 4th down and 16. Actually lost 7 yards back to the 41, so it was a 6-yard loss. 4th and 16, 2:22 to go. Not many plays in the playbook for a 4th and 16. But you have no choice at this point for Spring Hill with just 2:22 left, down 2 touchdowns. Coming up following the conclusion of this one, stick with us for the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. Run down all the final numbers for you and what's been an exciting ball game tonight. It's been a very well-played game between these 2 teams. And there's nothing to be ashamed about in this performance from Spring Hill tonight. They have given DeSoto everything they wanted in this one. But right now, they got to come up with 14 yards. Letillier steps up from the pressure, but there's the spy waiting for him. They only brought a 4-man rush, but they left Nascimento sitting right in the middle of the field to spy Letillier if he was able to get away, and he did get away, but not from Nascimento. No gain on the play, and they turn it over on downs with 2:16 to play. DeSoto will take over at the 41 of Spring Hill. And the Broncos have 2 timeouts remaining, so DeSoto can't just sit on it at this point. They're going to still run their offense. Spring Hill hoping to at least come up with a stop, though, and not let this one turn any further away on the scoreboard. As Coy on the handoff, you can see the Broncos trying to rip that ball out of there. Rounds on, yanking at that right arm of Coy where he was holding the football, but Coy holds on. Just a 1-yard run. He replaced their leading rusher, their fullback Garrett Kellner, back in the first half when Kellner left with an injury, and Coy has since carried it 13 times for 40 yards in this game. Did lose a fumble back in the first half down inside the red zone, but he has overcome it and has kept the trust of his coaches. They have handed him the ball time and time again in this second half. 2nd down and 9 with just over 90 seconds to play. Miller watched the play clock get down to 3 before he takes the snap and again turns and gives it to the fullback Coy, who picks up 2 down to the 38-yard line. 3rd down and 7 coming up with the clock at a minute 20 and counting. Carson Downs on the tackle, but also a little slow to get up. Officials will stop the clock momentarily to check on Downs, and J.B. Watkins looks like he's going to come in and replace Carson with a minute 19 left. Well, this Spring Hill defense, they've been on the field a lot tonight, and I don't know how much more I can talk positively about these guys. I mean, they have had a great performance tonight against an explosive DeSoto offense. Spring Hill will take a timeout with a minute 12 left. They're second. They've got 1 remaining. But DeSoto has scored the 2 touchdowns, 2 big plays, a 53-yarder and a 33-yarder. But otherwise, they're right now at 383 yards of offense. That's would be a season low. Their 111 passing yards would be a season low. Their 14 points not only is a season low, but it's a season low by almost 40. So this has been a great job by the defense of Spring Hill. Twice they've made stops in the red zone. In fact, both red zone trips for DeSoto. They've been near the red zone a couple more times, and twice they've been stopped just outside of the red zone. 5 out of 11 on 3rd downs, but they're far below the 67% clip they were converting 3rd downs coming into this one. So it's been a tremendous night by the Spring Hill defense. Unfortunately, though, the DeSoto defense has been even tougher to traverse with only 103 yards allowed to the Spring Hill offense. Miller on the pitch to Tyson Pretty, unable to get the corner as he is taken out of bounds at the hip at about the 32-yard line. Anthony Lakin on the tackle will stop the clock with 1:05 to go and bring up 4th down.
Knocked out of bounds for number 6, Anthony Lakin.
So 4th down and 3.
4th and 3.
2 for 4 so far in the game on 4th downs is DeSoto. And they'll go for it again here on a 4th and 3 at the 34-yard line of Spring Hill. Option to the left side. Miller keeps it, and Miller is stood up short. That's another 4th down stop for the Spring Hill defense. So yet again, the Bronco defense coming up and turning them away on a turnover on downs. Chase Wilm, along with Jacob Stovall and Wyatt Dickey, with Zaid Barker helping out, and Aaron Dominic was there as well. So another defensive stop for the Broncos with a minute to go. And even though the win-loss ledger will show a loss most likely with a minute to go, down 2 touchdowns here, this has been a great defensive performance by the Spring Hill Broncos. Unfortunately, just a better defensive performance by the DeSoto Wildcats. So let's see if they can find some room for a quick strike this time. Latilla to throw. He's again under pressure. Will tuck and run. Trying to beat Nascimento to the sideline. He does. And scampers out of bounds with, oh, wow, they did not give him a good spot from where I thought he went. I thought he was past the marker before he went out of bounds, but they'll mark it at the 41 for an 8-yard run. 53 seconds to go.
2nd and 2 for the Broncos.
DeSoto defense looking for their 2nd shutout of the year. If their starting defense had played all game for all 4 weeks, they'd probably have 4 shutouts on the board. Here's Latilla to throw. And he is under pressure and twisted around and brought down at the 35-yard line. On the sack was Toby Dawkins. And Spring Hill will take their final timeout with 42 seconds to go. So the sack will make it 3rd down and 8 after the 6-yard loss. So another chance at a 3rd down. They're 2 out of 9 converting 3rd downs in this game. And this one will be a 3rd and 8 with 42 seconds to play. Next week, Spring Hill heads back out on the road to visit undefeated Tonganoxie, or at least undefeated coming into tonight. I haven't checked any to see if there's any final scores listed from those games across the Frontier League tonight. But coming into tonight, Tongi was undefeated at 4-0. They were at KC Piper this evening, and that's who Spring Hill will face 2 weeks from tonight, a visit to Piper before they wrap up the regular season at home against Baldwin, and then we'll see where they go for the first round of the postseason. 3rd down and 8. Here goes Letillier to throw, and he'll swing it out to Zade Barker. Zade's got a chance for the first down as he goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. He needed 8. He got 10, and they move the chains. So a 1st down and 10 with 36 seconds to go. $14-0 DeSoto lead. The Wildcats, at this point, they're playing for a shutout. And Spring Hill, the opposite, not necessarily going to win this one, but now trying to at least put some points on the board. Letillier takes a shot for Knowlton, and it is incomplete. Dallas Williams looked like he was going to have the interception, and Knowlton almost had to turn into the defensive back there, but he did so successfully and got it away from Williams, so it just falls incomplete. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 with 30 seconds to go. Looking in the Frontier League tonight, Bonner Springs at Ottawa. It's not a final yet, but it might as well be 50-0. Bonner Springs on top of Ottawa. Again, that one not final. A close one, closer than I would have expected tonight in Eudora. Lewisburg 17, Eudora 7. That a 4th quarter score there. As Letillier looks to throw on 2nd and 10, throws this one high up in the air, and it is tipped and incomplete. That ball way up there, like a game of 500 for Cameron Crotchett, and it falls incomplete for a 3rd down and 10. So Lewisburg getting tested tonight by Eudora, but they're on top anyway in that 4th quarter. Tonganoxie 4th quarter, last update, led Piper 14-6, so a close one going on there as well. Haven't seen the Paola Baldwin score yet, but I'm guessing that one's not very pretty. Here's Letillier over the middle on a slant, and it is caught by Klutz at the 48 of DeSoto. That's a 7-yard completion and a 4th down coming up. As they'll hurry up to the football, they've got 10 seconds left. And they're going to get the snap off on a 4th down and 3. Letillier over the seam, caught by Knowlton, and a 1st down. That will end the ball game, but Knowlton makes the catch down to the 33-yard line for 15 yards, and that will end it. Well, an impressive showing really from both teams. DeSoto, this is not a game of which team wasn't good. This was a game right here of DeSoto just better tonight, but both teams put on a great show here in Spring Hill. If you like a ton of offense, you might be disappointed after this one, but I'll be honest, that was a fun football game to watch. A couple of defenses go back and forth, squaring off in this one, and ultimately it was DeSoto that comes out on top in this one. But a heck of a ball game as well from the Spring Hill Broncos. Your final tonight in Spring Hill, the DeSoto Wildcats 14 in Spring Hill, scoreless to end this one. The Broncos dropped to 2-3, and the DeSoto Wildcats for the 3rd straight year have started 5-0 with the victory. Coming back on the other side, we'll get into the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show coming up here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Open, flexible, and dedicated to our clients with impeccable customer support. That's why you choose Tri-Century Bank. Have your bank right in your hands with mobile banking and manage your money from the comfort of your home with convenient online banking. Tri-Century is ideal for your business with competitive rates on loans and credit cards to help meet your goals. For 125 years, Tri-Century Bank has been serving Spring Hill. To learn more, join them for one of their monthly coffees. See upcoming events at tricentury.bank.
Shop local and save at Price Chopper, your hometown grocery store in Spring Hill. Price Chopper has great everyday deals throughout the store. Enjoy hand-cut steaks from the meat department, the freshest fruits and vegetables from the produce aisle, and savor the flavors from the bakery. Check out their weekly ad to get the best deals on what you need, from apples to aspirin, Cool Whip to cool crisp lettuce. Plus, the Spring Hill Price Chopper is now your home for Dunkin' Donuts. Locally owned and operated, Price Chopper in Spring Hill. Open daily 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your home for Bronco Athletics is Spring Hill Sports Live. Our coverage of Bronco volleyball continues Saturday as we bring you action from the Spring Hill tournament. Catch every second of Bronco volleyball Saturday right here on your home for Bronco Athletics, Spring Hill Sports Live.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
It's a final tonight in Spring Hill. DeSoto 14, Spring Hill 0. The final as we welcome you into the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. Second shutout of the year for the DeSoto Wildcats. First time being shut out for Spring Hill, as this was all about the defense in this one. Both teams held to a season low in points. Both teams held to a season low in total offense. Spring Hill held to a season low rushing, and DeSoto held to a season low passing yardage in this game. So defense, defense, defense in this one, and a 14-0 final. As we look at the final numbers in this game, 387 yards of offense. That is by 10 the fewest of the season for DeSoto. They had 276 on the ground and a season low 111 through the air. For Spring Hill, 137 yards of total offense. That by almost 90 yards, a season low. The 55 rushing yards in this game by 80 yards is a season low. And their 82 passing yards in this game, not a season low, but another tough go at it against a very, very good DeSoto defense. Final individual numbers, Evan Latillier for Spring Hill, 11 of 20 through the air for 82 yards and an interception. He ran 11 times for 14 yards. Zade Barker, he ends up with 40 yards on 13 carries. That's a season low for Barker in this one. 2 carries, 1 yard for Dylan Lazenby, and 1 carry for no yards for Zach Knowlton. Through the air, the receivers, 4 grabs, 31 yards for Klutz, 3 catches, 20 yards for Knowlton, 2 grabs for 16 yards for Barker. Daniel Mitchell had 1 catch for 7, and Cameron Crotchett 1 catch for 8 yards. For DeSoto, Jackson Miller, 9 of 17 for 111 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown was the first half score, a 53-yarder to Tyson Priddy, who caught 4 passes for 70 yards in the score. Priddy also ran 14 times for 106 yards. That's a season high on the ground for Priddy. Jackson Miller carried 13 times for 98 yards and a touchdown, had the 33-yard score. Garrett Kellner, 5 carries for 16 yards in the first half before leaving with an injury. He was replaced by Russell Coy, who carried 14 times for 42 yards. And Jake Rosen added 6 carries for 14 yards. And through the air, along with the 4 grabs for 70 from Priddy. Hayden Henderson had 3 catches for 23 yards. Jake Rosen 1 for 10, and Austin Tabor had 1 for 8. The first touchdown was a 53-yarder, Jackson Miller to Tyson Priddy at the 134 mark of the first half. The second one was a 33-yard touchdown run by the quarterback Miller with 3:25 left in the second half. So both late in the half scores, and DeSoto, all they needed was the one, in fact, but they added the second, and they shut out the Broncos tonight in a 14-0 final. Back with more on the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Elliott Insurance Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Insurance Group, we work, live, and shop in our local communities, serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years. Elliott Insurance Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Insurance Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit elliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Prime Accounting Solutions in Spring Hill is here to help you and your business grow. From accounting services to tax planning, Prime Accounting is here to help you meet your goals and achieve your dreams. The accountants at Prime Accounting Solutions stay up to date on the latest news and information, ensuring the best options, services, and returns for you. Give Prime Accounting Solutions a call at 913-592-2050. Visit them at 408 North Webster in Spring Hill or go online to primeaccounting.net.
Are you looking for a trusted heating or air conditioning contractor in the Spring Hill area? Look no further than Comfort Designs. Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning has 100% NAIC certified technicians who are friendly, knowledgeable, and ready to help. They'll care for your home and complete the job with speed and precision. Locally owned and operated for more than 20 years, Comfort Designs, Spring Hill's heating and air conditioning company. See all they have to offer at comfortdesigns.net or schedule your appointment at 913-592-4453.
Your local Farmers Insurance agent is Leah Smith. With more than 10 years of industry experience in both Kansas and Missouri, Leah is sure to customize the right plan for you. Her straightforward and personalized approach will help you better understand your coverage options. Stop on by at 159th and Merlin, right up the street in South Olathe, or call 913-221-0755. Leah Smith Agency, Farmers Insurance, proudly serving Spring Hill and cheering on the Broncos.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back to the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Post-game show brought to you by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center. They work with all insurance companies and can get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. A defensive battle in this one tonight. DeSoto had just the better defense, but both teams had good defenses tonight. 14-0 DeSoto with the shutout victory over the Spring Hill Broncos. Spring Hill drops their third straight game to 2-3 now, and DeSoto, for the third straight year, has started 5-0. And that's also the fifth consecutive win now for DeSoto over Spring Hill in their head-to-head series with each other. But this one, DeSoto offense that came in averaging 9.5 yards per play and a touchdown on every 6 snaps offensively. It was anything but that for them tonight, as their previous season low in points was 51 against Leavenworth back on opening night. They get held to 14 in this one. But unfortunately for Spring Hill, they were unable to find the end zone tonight as they get shut out for the first time this season. And for the first time since 2011 by DeSoto as far as a shutout goes. But this was a good performance by the Spring Hill defense. And offense just could not get enough going against that DeSoto defense. Taking a look here at the rest of the Frontier League, see if we can find some finals for you. And we've got just fourth quarter scores still at this point, but a game that we don't need to wait for the final to call it final, if you will, is the ball game in Ottawa tonight. Bonner Springs with a 50-0 lead on Ottawa at last check, and a fourth quarter score there. A close one in Eudora with Lewisburg leading 17-7. That game in Lewisburg rather, but Eudora 17-7 the score there. Lewisburg trying for their third straight win after their 0-2 start, but Eudora giving them a challenge. It was 42-0 Paola on top of Baldwin at halftime of their game. And Tongi in the fourth quarter led Piper 14-6. That's the next two opponents for Spring Hill. They'll face Tonganoxie next Friday night on the road, and then they'll visit Piper on the road 2 weeks from tonight, before 3 weeks from tonight coming back home to take on Baldwin in the regular season finale before the playoff opener. Every team makes the playoffs, if you will. It's that ninth game. It used to be the ninth regular season game. Now that ninth week becomes the first playoff week of the season in Class 4A, and that will obviously be the week after that Baldwin game. But 3 more known opponents, if you will, and then that fourth one will be the unknown. But this is a tough stretch of schedule right now that Spring Hill is in. And last week, a loss at undefeated Paola. Tonight, a loss to undefeated DeSoto. Next week, they visit likely undefeated Tonganoxie, and then they've got Piper on the road after that. All 4 of those teams, by the way, currently ranked in the top 10 of their classes, all 4A, except for DeSoto, of course, who's in at the 5A. So tough stretch of schedule right now for the Spring Hill Broncos, and all those tough matchups I mentioned, of course, 3 of the 4 being on the road as well. But tonight, nothing to hang their heads about. They played well in this one. Unfortunately, they just ran up against a team that also played very well in DeSoto. Your winner tonight in Spring Hill with a 14-0 final. We'll continue and wrap up the postgame show coming up right after this. See, Coach is still down there talking with some of his seniors and some parents and whatnot. It is senior night for the Broncos. We'll see if we can catch Coach coming up here in a moment. The Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center postgame show continues right after this on Spring Hill Sports Live.
What if grass wasn't just for mowing? What if all the games weren't on TV? What if you saw the grandkids on more than just holidays? What if you got out of the house more often, maybe for good? Cedar Lake Village Senior Living. Life is how you live, not just where. To learn more, call 888-508-2022.
When it comes to protecting your family, home, and business, look to a local, community-minded agent. In Spring Hill, that's Allstate agent Libby Clark. With more than 15 years of industry experience, Libby and her team are committed to providing a customized family protection plan that fits your needs. A full-service agency, Libby Clark offers a broad range of insurance and financial services, building relationships with a focus on helping their neighbors. That's the Libby Clark Agency. Visit them on the southeast corner of 223rd and Harrison in Spring Hill. Whitesell Optometry Vision Source has been the leader in optometry services and vision care in Spring Hill for more than 20 years. Whitesell Optometry offers comprehensive eye care, as well as the latest, most popular lenses and frames for Spring Hill and the surrounding communities. Experience modern eye care with advanced diagnostic technology and vision correction products. And with the experience of Doctors Whitesell and Bloodgood, you're sure to see the results you're looking for. To schedule your appointment, call Whitesell Optometry Vision Source at 913-592-2020.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
This is Bronco football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
Welcome back inside the Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center post-game show. We're joined now by Jason Feeback, the head coach of the Spring Hill Broncos. And, Coach, you certainly got to be proud of the way that defense performed for you guys tonight. That was a heck of a game.
Played their hearts out. I don't know if I've ever seen our defense play that hard. And against a really good team. That team was averaging like 60 points a game, and we held them to 14. Proud of our guys tonight. I thought our effort was there. Execution offensively wasn't.
And a lot of that with that DeSoto defense, where that's a very good defense that you're going up against in this one. And just they don't give up any big plays, which makes it really tough on offense, doesn't it, when you just have to move.
And they don't, they keep their guys over the top, and they're very athletic, and, they get after it. And they got some good players on that side of the ball, that's for sure. We knew that coming in, and just couldn't really establish the run game that we were hoping to. And when you put the ball in your hands and it's 3rd and 10 a lot, then it's kind of hard to draw up stuff and don't really have a lot of those plays drawn up in the old playbook.
Twice DeSoto's offense got down to the red zone, and you guys stopped them from scoring. In fact, the only 2 times they were in the red zone. They didn't come away with any points. 2 more times they were right down there just outside of the 20, and you turned them over on downs. I mean, I know you already kind of touched on that defense, but I was up here trying to run out of good things to say about the way the defense is playing tonight.
Yeah, I know you can't say enough about it, but it's a team sport, and they do keep score, and they don't give you points for making great stops and making great plays. So you're getting the ball in the end zone is what really gets it done, and we got to do a better job of getting the ball in the end zone.
What's the adjustment that you can make there offensively?
I don't want to say anything right now. I got to get out and watch the film and kind of see what they were doing and reevaluate what we're trying to do and kind of move on from there.
Your senior night as well, had a chance to honor those guys before the game, and they certainly honored the program with the way they played here tonight. We talked about this senior class in our chat before the game this week and about just the energy they play with and how much the passion and the fun it is to coach this group. If you want to just kind of reiterate again for those maybe missed it in the pregame, but the senior group and what they kind of meant to you as a coach. You've been here now 5 years. You've seen these guys from the time before they were young men to the time that now they are, these young men that you're leaving the program.
I was in most of those guys' houses when they were in 8th grade. I call them recruiting visits. We're public school, so I just recruit our kids, but we go in and I sit down with the parents and go over our standards and expectations, and then, these guys have been showing up. You got 2 or 3 kids there that haven't missed a workout in 4 years. So, we do that. We try to keep all of our kids and get them into our program. And I think this group here, this is the first group I was able to go in their houses and sit down with them and get eye to eye with their parents and just build positive relationships with those guys. And they care about each other. They care about the team, and they like to go compete. They're not the biggest guys or the strongest, but I think they're pretty much up there with being some of the toughest kids I've ever coached.
Well, chance next week to go back on the road. Another tough one with Tonganoxie coming up. So, Coach, have a great week with the guys, and we'll see you out in Tongi next Friday night.
Thank you.
That's Jason Feeback, the head coach of the Broncos. Again, your final tonight, DeSoto 14 and Spring Hill scoreless in this one as they just couldn't quite break through on that tough DeSoto defense. But 14-0 final. They'll be back on the road next Friday night to visit 6th-ranked Tonganoxie, which at last check had a 14-6 lead in the fourth quarter in their ball game tonight at Piper. Still have not seen that final listed from that one yet, but they were up a touchdown late in the fourth quarter of that game as they were looking to get to 5-0. So that will be the visit next week for the Spring Hill Broncos on the road. Don't forget tomorrow as well, starting bright and early, 8 o'clock, first serve, coverage of the Spring Hill Volleyball Round Robin Tournament. We'll have that for you here on Spring Hill Sports Live. The first match at 8 a.m., the last match scheduled for 2:30, I believe it is, somewhere around there. We'll have 5 matches tomorrow for the undefeated 21-0 Spring Hill High School volleyball team as they host their home tournament tomorrow. 6 teams, Spring Hill included, in town for that one. So join us for that on the air about 7:45 in the morning tomorrow, 8 o'clock, first serve. For Caden Carbajo, I'm Bryce Kessler. We say good night tonight anyway from Spring Hill District Stadium, or once again your final score, 14-0 DeSoto over Spring Hill. You've been watching Spring Hill Sports Live and the Broncos football on Spring Hill Sports Live.
It's time for Spring Hill High School football.
He's in the slot again to the right. Myers gets the snap. Standing tall in the pocket, going to take the shot down the seam. Klutz is there for a touchdown. Spring Hill. Barker up the middle. Nice jump cut out to the right behind his center, Denver Gardner, who had the middle linebacker tied up. And Barker is in for a 9-yard touchdown.
Spring Hill Sports Live is brought to you by Comfort Designs Heating and Air Conditioning, Price Chopper, Kim Thompson at Prudential Financial, the Spring Hill Recreation Commission, Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Cedar Lake Village, Crown Realty, the Elliott Insurance Group, Prime Accounting Solutions, Farmers Insurance, Leah Smith Agency, Tri-Century Bank, Allstate, Libby Clark Agency, the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce, Spring Hill Fitness, Perfect Detail Salon, and Whitesell Optometry.
5.